What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Hello, everybody. I'm Love Coach Scott Katamas. And yes, I love watching Jerry rocking out. I saw people that are now getting to know that song going, yes! And that's how I feel every time I hear it. Welcome. It is The Awakening World. It's our Saturday night edition. And it's a really special weekend because we are exploring really deep questions. We're exploring true love. What is true love really? What have we learned about true love? How do we manifest, experience true love? How does it show up in our life? And can we, through really experiencing true love, create heaven on earth? Or how do we create heaven on earth? And I'm so grateful that I'm getting to do this topic with the magnificent Larissa Stowe, who just gave an incredible sharing for our early Zoom room show, which reminds me, welcome everybody watching on Facebook and YouTube. Delighted that you're watching. Come join us. This is going to be an interactive show tonight. We're going to take some of your questions. We're going to react and respond to you. And it's so much easier if you're in our Zoom room. So here's what you want to do. Go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com, and register. It just takes a minute. And then what will happen is you'll get an automatic email. It'll give you the Zoom rooms for all three of our shows. We do 3 shows every weekend, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday morning. And all of our shows bring incredible presenters, amazing human beings, and we interact. And we're becoming more and more interactive, and we're building this incredible community. And right now we've got our community in our Zoom room, a lot of our people that come every week. So welcome, come and join us. And I'm going to share with you a little bit about what we have tonight. Tonight's going to be a little different. I've kept it to a smaller group of people, and we're going to go really, really, really deep. And one of the people that I've invited is one of my closest friends and total family, and that's Emily Oram. Emily is also known as the Heart Ninja. And I had the honor and pleasure of doing life with Emily, living together for 5 years, where I experienced the many, many sides of the Heart Ninja and watched her become the Heart Ninja. But when I knew we were going to do this topic, Emily, I knew I wanted to invite you because you truly are experiencing and learning about love in many, many different ways. So thank you for being with us, and I'm really looking forward to what you have to share. We also always have amazing music, and coming to us all the way from near Byron Bay, Australia, Chad Wilkins is coming back, and Chad is a wonderful musical force who's going to sing to us all about love. And so looking forward to hearing your musical offerings and also your ruminations about love. And thank you for being with us, Chad.
Thanks for having me.
We also have somebody who is a PhD psychologist. She's an author. And we met her through you. She was watching our show and got to know her through the community. And she has a lot to also share about love. Josiane, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
it's gonna be great. Thank you. And I can't wait to hear what you have to say about tonight's topic. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, we always have an after show. Tonight's after show is going to feature my good friend Eden Amadora, and Fanny and Vigari are going to play music. And they've become kind of our after show regulars, and they're fabulous. They play beautiful, beautiful music. We also have a video from Deva Pramal and Miten that we're going to play a little bit later. It's a video they made just for us. But now I'm going to put the spotlight on my co-host, and look at, she has multiplied. We went from one incredible, magnificent soul into five. And in the Encinitas, Carlsbad area, celebrating the birthday of someone I love and adore, Viraja Prema. I've known Viraja for years. I adore her. She's been on my shows. And it's her birthday weekend. And so how better to explore this topic than to have these five amazing women. So Larissa, I'm going to turn over to you to introduce your friends.
This is my beloved sister, soul sister here, Viraja. She is the reason why we're here, you just said, and adore her, have known her for how many years? 15, something like that? Yeah.
16.
Yeah, and she shared the story with you that I was at a small yoga studio with our band, Shakti Tribe, and we started jumping up and down at the same time. Like, we just connected heart to heart, and she is just a force of love, and her work in the world is all about self-love and working with women and couples and for people to embody. And I adore her. So I adore her. This is Isla. I met Isla at Santa Onofre. Like, we were working at that time on the front lines of trying to shift the situation and not have the canisters go into the ground. And so I got to meet Isla, this beautiful soul. And Viraja and Isla are really, really wonderful friends. And so I'm excited to get to be with her tonight as well, because I haven't seen you in so long, right? Yeah. And I just met Shelly tonight for the first time. And she's a dear friend of many people that are in common in this group. And I know she works with people on manifestation. That's what I've heard.
Yes.
And excited to get to know her. And this is Amber Hartnell. And I love this one. I met her years ago, right? With the Resonance
how long ago. Yes.
Foundation, when our band was performing at one of the events, right?
Yes.
And so it's really wonderful to see you and be in her beautiful home too. So
Yeah.
excited to be with these ladies, these
Oh.
goddesses, actually.
Yeah.
Goddesses.
It's the energy coming from the five of you is pretty incredible. Amber, thank you for opening up your home temple to the goddesses, but also to our Awakening World Global Peace Tribe. Thank you so much. And I forgot to mention one quick thing. I always want to appreciate the Sign Network for bringing us out over 100 different Facebook groups and pages. Thank you, John and Summer Raymer. And special love for Summer. We're going to do a little healing prayer later on today during our prayer circle time. But thinking of you, Summer. Summer's father passed a few days ago. And I also want to thank everybody watching on Unify. We love Unify.
Thank you, Unify.
I am putting the spotlight fully onto the five of you. And Larissa, I think you're going to do an invocation and a song for us. And then we're going to hear what you all have to say about tonight's topic.
I invite us all to just drop into our bodies. Our beautiful body temples together, and breathe. Breathe deeply. calling back my spirit. I'm calling back my heart. I'm calling back my spirit. I'm calling back my heart. Come home, she's calling me. The river returns to the sea. Come home, she's calling me. Just trust the wind beneath your wings. I'm calling back my spirit. I'm calling back my heart. I'm calling back my spirit. I'm calling back my heart. Come home, she's calling me. The river returns to the sea. Come home, she's calling me. Just trust the wind beneath your wings. I'm calling to my spirit. I'm calling to my heart. I'm calling to my spirit. I'm calling to my heart. Come home, she's calling me. The river returns to the sea. Come home, she's calling me. Just trust the wind beneath your wings. Calling to my spirit. Calling to my heart.
I want to invite everybody who's watching, whether you're watching live, whether you're in our Zoom room or on Facebook, or all the people watching the replay, the recording of this, to really use that beautiful invocation to drop in. And as we listen to our presenters, as we hear the music tonight, as we hear their thoughts, may it serve as a sacred mirror for your own journey. What does true love mean to you? What does heaven on earth mean to you? How do you experience it? How do you long for it? And I am going to invite all five of you to share, ideally, a personal experience. What has been your journey of longing for true love, experiencing true love, and how does that relate to your perception of how we can create heaven on earth in our lifetime, or even right now in this moment. And I look forward to hearing what all of you have to share.
Birthday girl.
I feel like I'm on the freeway with all sorts of traffic happening. Which car is going to get in front? Yeah. Which thing? Let's think about. So many things to say about love. Wow. Yes. Goodness. So it's my day. I'm celebrating my birthday, and I also had a near-death experience about almost exactly 6 years ago. So I also celebrate that on some level, like the integration and the upgrade that brought me. And one piece I wanted to share, which is that basically the recovery I had from that, because I had a traumatic brain injury, was was one where my system was a little more sensitive, like extremely more sensitive than normal, because like all of the buffer was gone, and I would get the feedback loop of my body. If I used my brain in a certain way, it would hurt. Like it would just automatically give me this feedback of pain, pain, pain. And what words I have now for that, they had like months and months of like biofeedback. And thank you. So what I would equate that, words I'd call that, are just like the kind of more like the doing mind, or the thinking mental or ordinary mind. Like if I was trying to look at something and figure it out and maybe pick it apart, it would hurt. But if I found like this place to relax, kind of open up, it would totally shift. It would shift into this peaceful openness. And from the way my system would register it, I'd go, poof. My heart would open. And it's like taking the top off the convertible and lying like, look at the sky. Huh? Yeah. So heaven on earth for me is like, how do I be in that all the time? Like, how do I live in that place where it's my heart in this connected isness, presence, that I can be with what it is without it giving this feedback loop of pain or hard or try or like extra effort. And it's been, yeah. And that was because I'm also a mother. So at the time I had, was the sole provider with 2 kids. And so there was this whole other thing of like, can I lean into support that they're going to be okay, that I'm going to be okay? Like, and of course I wanted to go right to this, like I had all these reasons to go right to this and question and doubt. And I was shown over and over, like the love is there, the support is there. And the more that I was like, opening and relaxing into that, and the willing to not know, willing to discover, things would show up. And it was just like, so my practice at the time, and is still currently, like, how can I be open to being with and receiving and allowing myself to be in the putting myself in the seat for love, to be love, to receive love, to share love.
Like that, just like that, just like that, just like this,
just like this,
just like receiving love.
Thank you for sharing that, Viraja. Thank you. And I remember that time of your life. Glad you're still with us. Better than ever.
Yes, it's so true.
Upgraded.
Upgrading.
It's a divine appointment.
Yes, that's the thing, right? That everything happens for us to up level if we so say yes, right?
Yep.
If we so choose to say yes.
Yes, exactly.
Amber, you always have wonderful things. I've listened to you speak many times, publicly and privately. What would you like to share on this topic?
Yeah, let's
Go in a little bit more.
I was having a similar experience to Viraja when the topic was posed as I began to tune in. So many threads we could pull on, and what came to me was really there's only one relationship here, and it's this one. And so when we get right with ourselves and we really turn our gaze in towards our connection with the divine, with source, with knowing that we fundamentally are the source of love as our fundamental identity. And we cloak it with our lovely personalities and structures. But ultimately, for me, it was about some pretty catastrophic events that launched me into an experience of contrast where I got to go from being very loved by my mother to her sudden death. But the night that she died, which was obviously for a 7-year-old girl, that is radical trauma to go through. But she gave me a gift the night that she died. And she planted a seed in my consciousness that began to flower that night, but kept flowering through all of the very difficult experiences. So similar to Viraja, I got tested. And through an immense amount of pain, I came to know that we can keep sourcing deeper and deeper. And it's like the pain and all of the things we go through are like the surface activity on the water. But if we can dive down beneath all of that noise and activity, the well is always there for us to return to. So every relationship is really reflecting this one back to us. So I take full responsibility for sourcing from my own well and saturating in the love that I am so that I can share the overflow with anyone who happens to come by.
Thank you very much, Amber. Thank you. Shelley, since you're right next to her, what would you like to share?
Yeah, I'm feeling in as well and just really resonating with everything that's been shared so far. Well, I'm feeling into my current practice of embodying, being, experiencing love. And my current practice is really focused on my practice in my partnership. And this is where and I think I don't think I'm alone in this, but I can get the most thrown out of my full embodiment and alignment. It's like when I'm alone and in my own space and in my own juice, it's because maybe I've practiced so much and I'm so familiar with the pathway to really resource and feel really filled up and overflowing. But there's just that thing that happens for me in partnership where things come to the surface that can make it really hard to stay in that fullness. To stay in that seeing. That seeing, full seeing of love in front of me, in my partner, and love in myself. And so it really feels, for me, the advanced practice is what I'm in right now, and it is the advanced practice of partnership and of being with someone every day and like just all of touching all the different places in each other that we touch, and then still remembering to love, still choosing to love, still learning how to love, how to see love, how to know love. I mean, I'm really good at doing it on my own, but I'm in that advanced practice, and I feel if I stay with this practice, it's like more love than I could ever know will probably be the result of that, because it's an area where I can collapse out of love. And so my commitment to myself is to stay in this type of love too, this dance of love.
Thank you so much for bringing that up. Last weekend, our whole show, The Awakening World, was committed to relationship as sacred mirrors. And so, of course, that's what you're pointing to. And, there's an interesting thing that not everybody, well, I know, you probably all know this, but maybe not. Our brain, because we're wired for survival, our brain stores memory of painful encounters at 5 to 30 times greater than memory of pleasurable encounters. Because we're built to survive. So that's why we meet somebody, we fall in love, it's awesome. But every time we perceive that that person is judging us, criticizing us, blaming us, our brain stores that memory. And that's why often someone that started as a beloved can become in our mind an enemy, right? And you know how we've all had that experience where you're in neutral and you see your lover or someone, a family member, and you're actually in neutral. And you look at them and go, what is it now? What is it now? Who's had that experience, right? Right? They're already reacting and you haven't said or done anything. Do you know it could be that the shirt or the blouse or the dress you're wearing, the last time you wore it is when you guys had a fight. And so the brain just sees the image, right? That it triggers the memory, goes into protection mode, reptile brain takes over, and the person gets reactive and you're in neutral. And so two things. One is for those of us that are in, or for those of you that are in like a marriage or a romantic relationship, every time you have a fight, you got to make love 5 to 30 times to balance it out.
That's long.
It's a good program. Thank you, doctor.
Isla, thank you for waiting. I am eager to hear what you have to say.
Well, I appreciate what you just had to say because that leads me into something that I'd love to talk about because the prescription for making love 5 to 30 times after was that is an option. But it's interesting because I found you were asking Larissa earlier what her practices are for loving or connecting to self or source. And so one thing that I do as an acupuncturist is do a lot of tapping and I have really used that to help me through a lot of anxiety that I feel like I've faced throughout my life and have come to a place where I can, I mean, even this gives me anxiety, so I was doing a little bit of tapping. But the experience that you gave of like, well, having a fight with your partner and seeing them wearing that red shirt could trigger it again. Going deep into those memories, you know, often what I'll have to do for myself is tap on those memories, get super specific about the visual. Okay, what color was the shirt, or what did it feel like on my skin, or, you know, go through all the senses and tap down what has felt the most triggering. So I've been using that very deeply to go through sort of like my personal peace project I've been doing to kind of strip away limiting beliefs and traumas that I've had and things that have kind of kept me from being the partner to my husband that I want or the mother that I want to be to my kids. And I get choked up thinking about, like today, just I was thinking how I get so angry at them sometimes and I don't want to be that way. So it's like Amber was saying, like, how do we really connect to ourselves? And I find that when I get home and I'm stuck in the house and doing so much like housework that I like forget like who I am and how to connect to that love. So it's like really being in nature helps me. And I find like that sense of love and being in nature and just really dropping into like how good it feels to be in my body and how good it feels to be with my sisters and like, you know, touching roses, all those things like helps me to really feel that true love and move through any blocks.
You know, whenever I see tears or the possibility of tears, I want to stop. Let's go there.
Yeah.
And so I'd love to ask you to go back to that moment that you had 2 minutes ago where the tears began to come. And I want to ask, what does that part of you have to say? What are those, what's in there?
Well, it's interesting because I was thinking about my son and just how much I love my son so much. His like 7-year-old face and he's so cute. Yeah, so cute. And just, you know, wanting to work on when I get angry to like have a better outlet and be able to like, you know, work through that.
Yeah. Thank you. So what I'm hearing is the tears are your longing to be able to sustain what's true, which is your love for your son, to be able to sustain that even when you're having a perfectly human moment of frustration or anger or whatever.
Yes, yeah. Longing is a good word.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to do a Love Coach Scott moment, and then I want to tune into all of you about this. But it's important to remember that anytime we feel guilty, and most parents, especially mothers, feel guilty for yelling at their kid or whatever it may be. But remember that anytime we're experiencing guilt, congratulations, you're not a sociopath.
Right.
Right?
Right.
You feel guilty because you care.
Yeah.
And actually, guilt is a mind fuck. Underneath it is the beauty of your care. And it's really important for any of us, anybody watching, if you experience guilt, be careful, because guilt can create paralysis. It can create, I feel guilty, therefore I don't want to engage with where I might feel guilty about, and it creates paralysis. But if you just drop into the beauty, like we just saw with this wonderful mother, underneath that, the tears of, oh God, I yelled at my beautiful 7-year-old son. Underneath that is the beauty of your longing to always love him, to always care for him at that level. And that's what's real, right? The moment of yelling at him or whatever, and kids are resilient. He doesn't even remember that you yelled at him, by the way, probably. But what's true is that longing to always consistently love. So we can always find the beauty of care. So that was a wonderful segue into something that I believe at least 4 of you, I don't know, Shelley, but are mothers. So what have you learned about true love as mothers or in family?
Maybe I should go since I.
Yeah, let's maybe go with the same order. Yeah.
Being a mom has been like the most incredible opportunity to learn true love, because first of all, like being a mama, I didn't know I could love that much in that kind of way. Like when my eldest was born, like giving birth to this being that just came out, she was the most beautiful thing ever. I couldn't take my eyes off of her. Like I just couldn't. It was just like everywhere she went was like, I'm like, how can I be so in love with this being? And I found that, she's a really different person. We're the same, but she's a Capricorn and I'm a Cancerian, and she and I are very different, but very similar, which is like the best thing ever. Like when you're really, really different in some ways and really similar. The ways that she's different have been, I've had some challenges with along the way. And I remember when she was little, she was so into my music when she was little. She would dance to everything, right? She was like a temple goddess dancer. It was bizarre watching this little itty bitty thing, just like the way she'd snake, dance. But then she got older and she'd come with me to the festivals and people would be like, you are so lucky, that Larissa Stowe is your mom. And she'd just be like indignant because she'd be like, what about me? And she didn't appreciate that everybody would say, you're so lucky. And when people would say, well, how do you like the music? She's like, it's not really my thing. And, she loved it when she was little, but she got to a certain age and there was this like, and for me, what the opportunity is just to totally accept her exactly where she was choosing to be, like fully, even though it could have felt personal, but it didn't for me, because I was like, oh, sure, you don't like it. It's like, because I know I've seen the temple dance and when you're younger, and it gave me this opportunity, and she's given me consistent opportunities to surrender and love her just as she is, like exactly as she is. And I swear, it's almost like she does things just to see, you still love me now, Mom? Okay, you think you're open-minded, Mom? I'm gonna show you this now. It's like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm in a different generation. It's like the way she keeps pushing my envelope of showing me where I'm not as open. She helps me to see that. And my 8-year-old, my littlest Star Marie, you know, she is a wild child, you know. She's wired very differently. She came in wired very, very differently, and she has what has been like when we did a brain scan on her with Dr. Amen when she was really little, because she was so like, her first word was no, no, no. Like whatever it was no. Even if she said she wanted eggs, you'd fix them for her, and she'd go, I hate eggs. And so again, it was scary to have a child, you know, that we found out her brain is all lit up. And so that's her mechanism for being able to control when she feels out of control, is to refuse everything at first. And she's goes deep and she goes high and she goes far and she goes wide, and it's just like having a you know, in your house and around you all the time. And she is giving me an incredible opportunity to drop in again into like the most profound unconditional love, like to keep seeing the highest in her, even when she's like, love me now, love me now, love me now. Oh, yeah. You know, you still love me, Mom? I don't think so. Let me try this. You know, so, you know, that's I've definitely as a mom have had these wonderful opportunities, and I love my kids. Like, I love them. They are my teachers. They are my little gurus. Absolutely. I'm learning how to be love, no matter what.
No matter what.
George Bernard Shaw had a really great quote. He said, there are two types of people. There are people that play the game of love me for what I do, which are those of us that are people pleasers. And then there are people that play the game of love me despite what I do. Right? That longing for unconditional acceptance. And quite often that, you know, that especially is your wild child, and I adore Astara. I adore her. I have a thing for her. But yeah, she's playing that game. Love me despite what I do. Right? Well, thank you for sharing that. Who else wants to share how motherhood or family life has taught you about true love?
I can share.
Amber.
Yeah, honey. Come on. Piggybacking on that, I had the same experience that you described when my first son was born. 3 days I couldn't stop weeping because I was so whelmed with the amount of love that I felt for this being. And I consider myself a loving person, very loving person before. I was floored, humbled, in awe at the profundity of love from this being who had been born out of my own body. And what a miracle that is. You can't really downplay what a miracle that is. Amazing.
Yeah.
And my capacity to love got so radically expanded that it evoked a new level of devotion in me. And that's the part of love, the kind of flavor of love that I want to highlight in the motherhood, is that these beings come in completely dependent upon us. And even when you're exhausted, haven't slept, doesn't matter what it is, you still show up. And you show up with love, not with resentment. So many nights of my child being up in the middle of the night, not sleeping, and just sitting on the bouncy ball with my baby, nursing him, falling asleep on the ball, but still there, and so much love. Because what else do we do but show up and care for these beings with all that we have? And similarly to Larissa, very dynamic, 2 very dynamic boys I have, and they've stretched my capacity for patience as well, which is another form of love. Like when we can stay, and again, when all of our triggers are and the alarms are sounding, and we can stay present and keep breathing, take responsibility for how we're feeling, and also model that for them. So that's one thing with my boys, is I have allowed them to see me when in a moment when I've been a hot mess, when I'm just feeling all the feelings at once, and I allow myself to feel them, show them that it's safe to feel what we feel. And then once it discharges, there's always peace on the other side. So I'm grateful that my boys, I've witnessed in them that they've, through this modeling, have developed this capacity. So, yeah, I think that's what I'll share.
Good stuff.
Thank you. Yeah. And I'm imagining, a lot of the people in the chat box are commenting, and I recognize that a lot of our audience, 80% of our audience are women, and obviously many of them have had children and probably can relate to all of this.
Mhm.
So let's talk. Viraja has something.
Yes, I would love to share. Well, before I became a mother, I had this sense like becoming a mother would be part of my spiritual path. And it was to happen. Like I knew what to do and I knew all the steps, and like that wisdom wanted to live through this body in this life and drink the nectar of all of the goodness and all of the gifts and all the beauty and all the sacredness of that dynamic relationship with source, with the body, with creation, with this the intimacy.
Yeah.
The intimacy of this presence and attunement through every millimoment of the way, this being that comes, as the women have already said, like through our body. Like, one of my biggest like freakouts was like, because I had been a procrastinator, and I was like, wait, I can't stop it, and I'm not in charge when it comes out. It's like, how is this possible? What it's really like that part of my brain went so I like to kind of see this journey of life is like coming back to wholeness. And the work I do around intimacy, it's like some people call it shadow work or parts work or internal family systems, or there's these different aspects of who we are, and it's like bringing them into wholeness, like bringing them all together into the loving embrace of acceptance and welcome. They have their place. It's all okay. It's all okay. And being a mama, I get to not only offer that to them, but what I've noticed is that there's parts of them that will highlight the parts of me that haven't felt loved and accepted. That haven't felt safe, that haven't felt welcomed. And that's when I might get angry, or I might get out of balance. And it's like the neon sign going, look here, look here. They want love, but you want love. Like we all need the love. And then it's like learning the skills to be with that, to meet that part, and to love it and to welcome it. And so my opportunity to be a guide for these children is merely like for their sustenance, for their survival, not for them knowing who they are. They're who they are, and being who they are is helping me know who I am. Right? And so this wholeness that I'm waking up to, and that they are in their stage of knowing, and reflecting that back to them, and then reflecting that back to me, so we can live in this euphoria, Eden on earth of love and acceptance of all of who we are. So,
Thank you to all of you that we're seeing on camera, and thank you to everybody who's watching who is a mother, because it's the most incredible thing you will do in life. And we live in a culture that downplays it. We live in a culture that doesn't celebrate being a good mother. How many times have we heard, oh, she's just a housewife. Oh, she's just a mom, right? And it's the most important thing of all.
That's so much.
The most important.
It is. And truly impossible to imagine the lessons of patience that you all have experienced. So thank you. I want us to get to the second part of the equation, the heaven on earth part. And I'm going to actually read our wonderful friend, the wild abbot, Jerry. He's with us. He runs the Mystic Monastery. And he wrote a beautiful definition. Home is heaven on Mother Earth. And that's a nice starting point, and that is a good definition. Obviously, many of us have a spiritual belief or desire to experience heaven on earth. obviously our planet is going through this incredible time of change. And here we are. One of the things the reason I call it the awakening world is that this is it. We are watching through climate change, through all the things that are going on, this incredible opportunity for humanity to transform. And I know three of you, and I know all three of you, Viraja, Larissa, Amber, are very dedicated to transforming consciousness. And just about everybody who watches this show is dedicated. That's the whole point. So, of course, we're longing for heaven on earth in these bodies. We're longing for that to happen. And so I look forward to hearing what each of you have to say about how can we achieve it? What are practices to get us there? Is heaven on earth already here? And like David chipping away at the marble, Michelangelo chipping away at the marble that's not David, and that's how David emerges, the statue of David emerges. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings about creating heaven on earth in our lifetime, in these bodies at this time?
Well, I guess I'll go again.
You're allowed. You're the co-host of the show.
Well, what's really present for me right now is the Weevolution, which is joining hearts and hands and linking arms with one another and focusing on what we do want to create in this world, because we've been focusing a really long time on what we don't want. And even right now, you can see it happening in politics. There's a lot going on at playing us against one another. And if we take a step back, we have a choice. We have a choice to see what we want to create rather than focusing on our differences and focusing on the places that we disagree with each other. And I think that most of us on this planet can agree, that love, compassion, kindness, healthy families, sustainable living, taking care of our planet, loving our planet, that all of these things are really, really important. And if we link arms and hearts with one another and we focus on where we're going, like where we want to go together, and make that our priority, make that our agenda. Yes, I'm committed to creating heaven on earth, meaning I'm committed to embodying love right here, right now, and to lift each other up, rather than this idea of competition. It's there, we can lift one another up, we can celebrate each other, we can acknowledge where ideas come from rather than thinking we have to know everything. It's like, oh my God, yes, what you were saying, Amber, yes, Shelley, I love Viraja. It's like, Scott, we honor each other, we exponentially start to grow. It's like the dots start connecting, bam, 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 because we're growing together and we're going where we want to go. And I believe it's going to bring the earth, the new earth. I believe this is what she wants. I believe this is what she is actually asking for right now from all of us. I don't think that it's that we're the bad guys, that we're just hurting Mama Earth. I think it's actually a collective awakening that's happening. I think she's awakening as well to her own power. As we awaken, she's going, wait a minute, we can do this, in love for love. And we're going, wait a minute, there's another way we can do this. We don't have to be in competition. We don't have to just take. We can grow up out of the adolescent stage, and we can grow into the sovereign adults that we are, which says yes to embodying love in this lifetime with one another. So that's my vision, and a lot of our visions. It's a we vision, I believe, and so I keep standing in that we visioning because I know it's our vision. It's really our vision. So we need to continue to talk about it till it becomes normalized and it becomes a normal conversation that we're all having.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I saw Emily, one of our panelists that we'll hear with, has been going like this. Um, Other thoughts from any of you? And I'm so appreciating your wisdom. Thank you, everybody.
The thing that came to me in feeling into heaven on earth, what came to me was the moment by moment recognition of that heaven on earth within the self. And I know for myself, when I'm in that alignment, when I'm in that embodiment, when I'm in the peace and all is well within, the action that is taken from that place, the inspiration that is taken, the movement that is taken, creates more of that heaven on earth. And so again, I experience it as my responsibility to be devoted and committed to my own alignment the best I can. And in that, there's a commitment to the creation of that alignment outside of self as well. But it gets created from within self, in my experience, first, so that I always have to go back to that commitment to self to return there and then allow that to be created from me, from that space.
Like Jesus said, as below, so above, as above, so below. Yeah, and so many of our great spiritual teachers remind us of that, that we have to create it on the inside. We had Reverend Michael Beckwith, who's somebody I really love, on the show a few times, and he talks about whenever they're creating something new for Agape, they always visualize it first. And until the group, the we, can visualize it in alignment, they don't even take any external steps towards making it happen.
Right.
Yep.
Other thoughts from Amber or Isla or Raja?
I'll be happy to share. I feel like what was shared here is so complete, and just a little poetic musing to decorate it.
Yes, please.
I really, yes to the me and the we. It has to be both, right? Each
Yes.
taking responsibility for embodying that frequency and emanating that congruently so that they are a contributor of that to the we. And in that personal connection that we each have, I think of us as like circuit connectors, right? Where heaven on earth is a frequency that always exists in the here and now. And we can choose to align with it, come into accord with it, and then, as you beautifully expressed, to then watch as everything that emanates through us becomes an expression of it. But I like to think of it as in the circuit connecting of the actual current that is flowing of life force. This current of spirit flowing down through the body and all the way down into matter, into the mother, like matter, right? And then being able to breathe that energy of the mother up and through us and offer it up to spirit. And I think of this dance as like spirit continually impregnating matter and then lifting matter towards spirit. So I think of it like a lovemaking.
Yes.
And I experience it like a lovemaking within my own body, within my own sensing. And when I'm in that space,
Yes. Yes.
when I'm in that space, then that's what lights up the grid of possibilities. Then the what was a wall becomes a door. I think it's Joseph Campbell, a quote, right? That's so. Those are my poetic musings on that.
Yes.
Heaven on earth is lovemaking of spirit and matter
Yes, absolutely.
in these bodies.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so here's
Watch it. And by the way, that's what we're going to be talking about more about tomorrow, right? On our Sunday show,
our Sacred Sunday show.
right? To nod to that.
All right, so here's one last question for you, because this is so dynamic, so we're going to go a little bit longer. I think we all recognize that when we're in that connection to divinity, when we're in that connection with each other, our greatest moments in life are moments of connection. Conversely, our most horrible moments in life are moments where we're really lost in the illusion of separation.
Yes.
So I know that each of you are powerful practitioners. what are your personal practices that you're willing to share for when you get lost in the illusion of separation? What helps you to connect to whatever you want to call it, the unified field, God, divinity, whatever you want to call it? What are your practices?
Would you two want to share? Because you didn't share mine. I'd like to hear you.
Well, I had shared a little bit about the tapping, but I think that I was going to say self-pleasuring, but I don't know if I can go there. I don't know. That's really helpful. So like,
That's legal. You're allowed. That is what we're going to be talking about tomorrow, and Emily probably will touch on that too. So,
not always my forte to talk about, but I do find that like having personal practices for doing plant medicine, tarot card pulling, really connecting to self-love and love of the body has been a really powerful way for me to come back to self and dance. I mean, when you were doing that kind of movement, Amber, I was like, all right, we need to get that movement in. And I really feel like song and movement and really feeling it in the body is just such a powerful way to connect back to self, back to center. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll add.
Yeah, okay,
Yes,
thank you.
I'll add to that. There's so many different flavors of connection, right? And I love that you're asking what our practices are, like how we can be self-accountable, like take our own responsibility for our experience of connection. And in contrast to this, I have a lot more practices now and I'm a lot more masterful, but when I was in that first pregnancy that I was like, oh my God, I'm not in charge and how's this baby gonna get out of me? I also had an experience, like kind of a relational traumatic experience. And during that, I felt so alone. I felt so alone. And I was walking the beach crying and I went, oh, I have a baby inside of me. Like, what? It's like, that's pretty extreme. Like how much the illusion of separation is like woven in there, right? And can take hold, especially when there's fear and survival and trauma and drama. So like that, one part of what I want to speak to, it's like that way to kind of shift that more reptilian brain survival, like defend ourselves, pull away so we don't get eaten by the enemy kind of thing, or even our own tribe, is to do some shaking. Like literally like do vibrating, shaking, breathing, and let the nervous system, I call it defrag, like let it defrag and release and like get some space in there because everything gets in lockdown, right? So get some space in there. And as I get some space personally, like as I keep doing that, you could do it without music or with music, but then if you do add music and then you kind of move to the music,
I do
it's
that
like
every day too.
Yeah, it's
Every
like
day.
this direct, main vein right into this experience of what I call connection. It's like how I'm like connecting through my body, beyond my body, to the music, to the energy flow, to the space around me. Or if I'm really struggling, I can go hug a tree or go. And another one I personally really love is getting in water. So getting in water is for my constitution, it's like perfecto. Perfecto. I get in the water, I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm held, all is well. It's like I can't deny it. Right.
well, this is kind of a unique situation, but I do want to give people a chance to share a little bit about what you do. So I'm going to go to Viraja since she just spoke. Viraja, I'm going to your website, and she actually has two, but this is receivemorelove.com. And tell us a little bit about the work you're doing with women and how people can, when they click apply, what are they applying for?
Great. So I'm a transformational intimacy coach. I help people repair intimacy, awaken intimacy, and advance their intimacy. They can have the direct experience of connection in all aspects of their life and the love that they truly want. So what Scott was sharing is a program that I have for women, and we're moving through the key blocks that we have to intimacy and how to understand them, how to be with them, how to come into integration and wholeness with them, so they're not hijacking our experience of connection and love and intimacy in our lives. So there's a variety of things that we do through that, and that's also what I do in my private work with couples as well, and women. And it's a fascinating journey, and I love meeting people where they're at, because some people need some serious repair. I mean, most of us do. We had some ouchies along the way. And so it's like we'd work on some repair. We also work on like being present, like actually here in our bodies now, like where we actually can experience connection and love and intimacy, and work with that. And even maybe it's even increasing our capacity to be able to do that. And then learning skill sets and implementing new ways of being into their lives as they move forward and move out of the session, from session to session, or beyond in their life, to help match their goals of what they're wanting to achieve.
Beautiful. Okay, so we're putting this in the chat box, but for people who are watching, there are 2 ways to connect with Viraja. For her kind of more work with women, it's receivemorelove.com, receivemorelove.com. But wait, there's more. There is also Viraja, and her primary site, viraja.com. That's spelled VIRAJA.com. And if you give her your name and fill in like I'm doing right now, you get fun stuff. What are the videos that you provide? What are the videos people get?
Oh, thank you for asking, Scott. Words and yeah, a lot of intimacy tips and intimacy insider tips myself, and interviews and beautiful things to share. Yeah.
So we're already 10 minutes over. We're going to have Chad Wilkins play a song. Did the 5 of you decide, are you going to do a musical offering for us?
If you'd like us to, I mean, if the time-wise, if it works out time-wise, I invited these beautiful goddesses to sing with me a Sufi song about love. And
I would love that. Chad, are you willing? Do you mind waiting for a moment, Chad? Are you good? Okay, great. And we have the wonderful Kristen Hoffman with us. Kristen and Cornflower are going to share. So we're going to go ahead and let's hear your beautiful Sufi song.
So this is a song that you could find out in the world. It was a song that I was taught. I don't even remember when I first learned it, but I sing it to my 8-year-old daughter. We sing it to her every night before she goes to bed. Raja's been there when we sing it. I sang it to my grandma when she was passing. It's that depth of a song. It just is. So I invite you all to sing along after we sing it a few times. See if you can jump in with us as a group, okay? All I ask of you is forever to remember me as loving you. All I ask of you is forever to remember me as loving you. Ishq Allah Mahbub Layla, Ishq Allah Mahbub Layla, Ishq Allah Mahbub Layla, Ishq Allah Mahbub Layla. All I ask of you is forever to remember me as loving you. All I ask of you is forever to remember me as loving you. Ishq Allah Mahbub Layla, Ishq Allah Mahbub Layla, Ishq Allah Mahbub Layla, Ishq Allah Mahbub Leila. All I ask of you is forever to remember me as loving you. All I ask of you is forever to remember me as loving you.
Thank you so, so much. That was really amazing. Never rehearsed before. Yeah, that's pretty incredible. I know that you are all going to go celebrate Viraja's birthday in wonderful ways. You know, for Amber, Shelley, and Isla, if you can just send me your links if you want me, and I'll later on, I'll post how people can find you. And if you don't want people to find you, that's okay too. But best bet is if you can send it to me in Facebook Messenger, and I'll scan, I'll find it, and let people know how they can get tapping advice from Isla, or parenting advice from Amber, or how to manage their husband advice from Shelley. Or how to manage your wild child from dear beloved Larissa. So whatever it may be. Thank you for blessing us. It's just been really amazing. Thank you so, so much.
Thank
And
you,
I will-
Scott.
And I will see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock.
Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, and the Shakti Love Warrior group too, as well.
Oh, you know what? Let me pull that up real quickly. I actually did have that. So start telling people about the Shakti Love Warrior group.
The Shakti Love Warrior group is this place that was an inspiration. It actually was a Shakti Love Warriors group before COVID hit. However, it became a place of regular Sangha, like a place to gather in love for love with the community, to support one another, and to meditate, to chant together on a daily basis. There's so much love. And like the people who come on a regular basis, we all know each other. We support each other through the journeys. You can just see how much love there is in this group. And we do have, like, there's people with different beliefs in this group, and we've been honest about it. But what I love about this group is that there's no judgment. Like, there is so much support and a curiosity. I feel like this group is really modeling how we can show up in the world with one another, and to create unity and peace even when we look at things differently. We can still be there, we can support each other, and we can practice love and meditation and chanting. And right now we're doing a chant. So tomorrow, Scott, we will, from the 11:11 to 11:22 Pacific Standard Time, we're going to be chanting the Adi Shakti mantra, which is a gentle, beautiful activation of the Kundalini, which is my whole world of what I work with people.
Fantastic. So that'll be a chance as you all watch tomorrow morning. You'll be able to kind of connect in as we bring these worlds together. And something you don't know, Larissa, my friend Jaya Lakshmi is going to join us tomorrow and play a song.
Yay!
Yeah, Jaya Lakshmi's going to
I
come
love
in.
Jaya Lakshmi.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, it's just beautiful global peace tribe. Here we are. All right. Happy birthday, Viraja.
Thank you. It's a pleasure and delight to celebrate with all of you. Thank you.
Love you so much.
And by the way, I'm going to go watch all of you later. So, like Chad, Emily, Kristen, Cornflower. I'm going to be checking in later. I'm going to watch, okay? So I want you to know that even though I'm celebrating Viraja right now, I am not going to miss you all, okay?
Aww.
Love you all. Love you all so much.
Thank you all so much, ladies, for all your incredible wisdom and your energy and your beauty. You're just blowing things up over here on this. So thank you.
Love to all the Global Peace Tribe people. We love you all. Yeah, rock it out, you all. Emily, mwah, thank you. Thank you, Scott.
Much love to you guys. Thank you.
Love you.
Well, that was fun, wasn't it? Wow. Chad Wilkins, thank you so much for your patience. We are going to have music from Chad in just a moment, but I want to briefly bring on two other amazing people that I love and adore who are dropping in. We've got Kristen Hoffman. Of course, you've heard Kristen sing many times, and she also, like Larissa, started as a musical friend that I met through the shows and now co-hosts with me, and I love co-hosting with you, Kristen. Just like it's so much fun co-hosting now with Larissa. And our beloved Cornflower is with us. And hey, brother, welcome.
Hi there.
Flower.
So great to be here tonight. I love you guys so much. And coming into this vibe, it was just so juicy and activating. And it was like, wow, this is exactly what the Global Peace Tribe is about.
It really
Thank you.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It was a love fest immersion from the minute we tuned in.
Gorilla.
Yeah, it's Viraj's birthday party, and her girlfriends all decided to jump in. So it was definitely a spontaneous and really fun thing. And
Great.
and there it is. It's all about creating community. And as a segue, we got to see how much fun it is when people get to be together. But we are now living in an online world, and I've never met either of you in person, and yet you're two favorite people. You're like dear friends, right? That's the world
Yes.
we're in now.
Isn't that going to be the best when the three of us can just have a group hug?
Yeah,
It's
so
gonna happen.
none
A
of us
real
have
live
actually
group
met
hug?
in person, just so anybody knows. It's not just Scott not connecting with us, but all three of us have not had an in-person connection before. So,
But that's going
and
to
we feel like
change.
family.
We are
Oh,
going
very
to do
soon.
retreats this summer. We are going to do
Yes.
retreats in at least one in Asheville, one
I'll be there.
East Coast one,
Yep.
one in the Bay Area for sure, probably one in Ashland, Oregon, and hopefully one
Nice.
in Maui. So we
I
will
may have
be,
to come back to the Ashland one.
yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we picked your two hometowns there.
Right.
Well, as we are still in the stage of connecting online, that's what I'm here to introduce. Valentine's Day is a hard holiday for a lot of people. The statistics show alcohol goes way up, suicide. Do you know that Valentine's Day, New Year's time, and Christmas are the three most common times that people commit suicide or attempt suicide? So that sense of loneliness, or that sense of, not feeling the love, or just couples that don't know how to share Valentine's, we have a solution.
Ta-da!
And the solution is to really be with these two beautiful love beings. So Cornflower and Kristen are, in classic Global Peace Tribe way, putting together an amazing event. I'm going to pull it up and just have you guys, have both of you describe what's going to happen this Monday night.
Kristen?
Well, okay. We
Yeah.
want to welcome each and every one of you into a warm musical embrace of universal love. We are going to be sharing a mix of songs and musical journeys, all in the key of love. And we'll be exploring all different expressions of love. So there's going to be something for everyone, and to honor whatever state or part of your relationship journey you are in currently with love. We will be exploring it all and just embracing the wholeness of what love is, and the role that love, the important role that love plays in each and every one of our lives. Cornflower, you want to?
Yeah, when Kristen and I were chatting about this earlier this week, and we were talking about, I mentioned to her about the fact that Japanese language, the kanji that they use to express love, there's actually 200 different kanji to express love, because there's so many different ways that love is expressed. And the English language has one word. And I think that really shows how much growth we have to do in contextualizing love and learning how to communicate and express it. And as Kristen and I both know, one of the greatest ways to open up your instrument is to actually sing and open your voice and open that channel from your heart and just let it flow out. and so that we can begin to learn how to expand and express ourselves in the many different ways. There's like a rainbow spectrum of ways we can express ourselves in love. And so this concert is to sort of take a microcosm of that idea and to use music as a way to touch into these places, to talk about them, to educate ourselves, to drop into our hearts deeper, to explore and expand our understanding of love, and allow us to bloom, kabloom into our lives and be able to share love in a deeper way. So
So beautiful, Cornflower. And
thank
I
you.
just saw
I thought I would
someone
do
put
like
it.
flowery words.
It was perfect. That was perfect. My heart
bouquet
was
of
feeling
flowery
every
words.
word. I just saw someone mention in the chat also that there will be a replay available of the concert. So if you have plans to go out to dinner and you're not going to be available in person, if you sign up for the concert, you can watch it when you get home, the next day, whenever you feel like receiving this dose of love. And we have timed it so for West Coasters, it'll start at 6 p.m. And we thought, maybe it'll be about an hour and 45 minutes long. So maybe you can make an 8 p.m. dinner at your home or out. And then for East Coasters, you can eat ahead of time and then enjoy the love concert afterwards.
We definitely recommend being there if you can, because we drop into the moment. Even though we're all in our different locations, the one thing that I think we've all dropped into through the Global Peace Tribe and this work of coming in together and having this sacred ritual of returning back to ourselves and to one another is that even though we're not physically in the same space, by coming together with intention, we are able to unite into the moment and remember who we really are and what we're really a part of and how big and magnificent and divine we all are. And so the live experience, you are each strings in the galactic guitar of the music that will be flowing through us, and each attuning to this grander symphony of the universe, the one song that we're going to be dropping into. So hope that you can be there with us, and if not, the replay is there.
Cornflower, you're on tonight.
Hey, it's a good night.
Many people are writing in the chat box, I've already registered, I can't wait. And I'm going to read just a couple comments that are reflective of the dozens of comments coming in. This is from Unify. Moses writes, I love you guys and to see you both tonight. And then Kristen tomorrow, Sunday the 13th. I'll talk about that in a moment. And then both of you on February 14th. This is going to be rip-roaring fun. And George Noble writes, I'm going to bring a group of people to attend. So,
oh, wow.
Thank you, George.
George, thank you. We love hug you.
Yeah.
So, I recognize some of you might be watching the Super Bowl, but there's something happening even more incredible than the Super Bowl. And that's once a month, Kristen Hoffman has her monthly gathering for her subscribers on her Patreon. So I will pull that up in a moment. Kristen, I'll go ahead and put the spotlight on you. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, thanks, Scott. That's so sweet. So I have a membership program through my website, and if you join, I hold a gathering each month, and I call it my Sonic Soul Family Gathering. And there's a different theme each month, and we gather for about an hour and 15 minutes. It's a mix of music and deep dialogue around a subject matter. Tomorrow's theme is higher love. How do we presence higher love, ground into it, ascend at the same time, and really connect and bring higher love into our lives? What is it like to embody higher love? How can it help us to bridge with others who maybe have different views, our families, our loved ones, ourselves? Higher love is something that I think each and every one of us are practicing how to embody more. So if you feel called, please come join tomorrow. It is at 6 p.m. East Coast time. So 6 p.m. I'm on East Coast, and that would make it 3 p.m. Pacific time on the second Sunday of every month. And any membership tier has access to the Sonic Soul Family gatherings each month. So for $11 each month, you can feel that warm sense of supporting an artist and also attend the Sonic Soul Family gatherings. And they're really, really special. I have to say, I feel like they have been a real gift in my life, and I know the community that's building is really, gathering something in each and every heart around, from these experiences. So thank you so much.
I'm there once a month. I really enjoy it. It's marked off in my calendar. And again, you can get there by going to KristenHoffman.com. There's 2 N's in there, HOFFMANN.com. Then click membership and then become a member of her Sonic Soul family. So there's an opportunity to get a lot of Kristen. She is the Super Bowl of incredible female loopers, and Cornflower is the Super Bowl of male loopers. And together they really create magic. They've done several events together through Global Peace Tribe. And you guys, thank you so much. Really looking forward to tomorrow with you, Kristen. And of course, Monday night, I'm honored to be hosting your event. And stick around if you can. We've got amazing stuff about to happen, including Chad Wilkins coming all from Australia.
Yeah, Chad, we love you, brother.
So much love, Chad.
Hey, thank you. So much love to you all as well. Thanks for having me, Scott. Can you hear me? Am I coming through?
Yeah, you are. And I'm going to just tell people a little bit about you. Obviously, Kristen and Cornflower know you because you are well known in the music scene. But for anybody who doesn't know, Chad is an American and Australian singer-songwriter. And he brings heart songs that reveal a better way for a generation in transitional times on our planet. He has lively progressive grooves, deeply prayerful chants. He spans many genres. We're going to give you his link. It's his name, chadwilkinsmusic.com. And thank you, Chad. I know that we're running a little bit late today. Thanks for being patient. I hope you've enjoyed those 5 lovely ladies and now Kristen and Cornflower. And we're really looking forward to hearing your offering.
I just have to pop in real quick, Chad, before you go and just say everything that bio said is 100% this man. He lives and breathes the words and the music. And that, a lot of times people flower up their bios, but he lives this. And so really take this in and receive his medicine.
Thank you, Cornflower.
Oh, thanks, brother. I really appreciate that. Thanks so much. Yeah. Should I just jump right in, or what's
absolutely.
All right, cool. I'm gonna sing a song from my new album. I've got a new album that's just releasing right now called Hollow Bones So I Can Fly, and this is one of the latest singles that was released on that album called Love Is Round.
Love is the way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will last. Love is the way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will last. Love is the way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will last. Love is the way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will last. That will last. That will last. But what is the point if you get nothing back? There is no point, for love is round and around and around and around and around. Yeah, what is the point if you get nothing back? There is no point, for love is round and around and around and around and around. Yeah, what is the point if you get nothing back? There is no point, for for love is round and around and around and around and around. Yeah, what is the point if you get nothing back? There is no point, for love is round and around and around and around and around. Yeah, 'cause love is the way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will last. Love is the way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will last. Love is the way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will last. Love is the way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will last. That will last. That will last. Mismatched, trapped by attractive distractions, caught in the clutches of a golden talon. Where is the center? Return and remember, love is round. Mismatched, trapped by attractive distractions, caught in the clutches of a golden talon. Where is the center? Return and remember, love is round. Mismatched, trapped by attractive distractions, caught in the clutches of a golden talon. Where is the center? Return and remember, love is around. Mismatched, trapped by attractive distractions, caught in the clutches of a golden talon. Where is the center? Return and remember, love is around. Love is round. Love is round. Love is the way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will last. Love is the way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will last. Love is the way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will last. Love is the way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will last. Love is the 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 way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will. When I die, my spirit will rise, hollow bones so I can fly. Highest heaven in my eyes, love is round. When I die, my spirit will rise, hollow bones so I can fly. Highest heaven in my eyes, I am found. When I die, my spirit will rise, hollow bones so I can fly. Highest heaven in my eyes, love is round. When I die, my spirit will rise, hollow bones so I can fly. Highest heaven in my eyes, love is round. Love is round. Love is round. Love is the way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will last. Love is the way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will last. Love is the way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will last. Love is the way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will last. But what is the point if you get nothing back? There is no point, for love is round and around and around and around and around. Yeah, what is the point if you get nothing back? There is no point, for love is round and around and around and around and around. Yeah, what is the point if you get nothing back? There is no point, for love is round and around 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 and around. Around and around and around and around and around and around and around. Around and around and around and around and around and around and around. Love is the way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will last. Love is the way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will last. Love is the way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will last. Love is the way, love is the path, love is the only thing that will last. That will last. That will last.
Wow. Wow. That was incredible.
You.
Wow. Thank you. And it's a powerful song, sang passionately. It's also the truth. I've done a lot of documentaries, Chad, a lot of television. I'm a producer on near-death experiences. And that's what all the people say. It's the experiences of giving and receiving love that we take to the next world. Call it the astral plane or heaven. Is what lasts. One of my great teachers, Bruce Joel Rubin, has worked with scientists, and that's what they discover is that it's when we give and receive love, that's the treasure that does last. And so God bless you, brother, for singing it with so much passion, singing that truth, and it's a perfect song for tonight's show, because that really is what it's all about.
Thanks so much, Scott. Thanks a lot for having me on the show. Really appreciate it. Great
Oh
to be
my
all
God.
together.
Yeah. And hey, everybody, Chad's going to play one more song later on tonight. But his website is his name, chadwilkinsmusic.com. And you definitely want to do what I just did. Sign up, subscribe, so you can get all about Chad's music. And let's support all of our artists. Just like, we want to support Kristen Hoffman by joining her Patreon site. It is so important for us to support our artists and look at all the music that is available on Chad's website here. And we can buy the music right off the website, right?
Yeah. I think you can link it to my Bandcamp, or you can find it wherever you want to find it as well, on Spotify and YouTube and Apple, all the places where music's free. So, yeah.
Great.
But please
find
buy
it.
his
Whether you
music
pay
on
me or not.
Bandcamp.
Yeah, that too.
Please go to Bandcamp and buy it, because he gets most of the revenue from Bandcamp, whereas all the other streaming services you get so little. But if you can go and hit play on his album and walk away from it and let it rack up streams, and that's also a really positive thing. You can do it for him too.
Thank you, Cornflower. I did not know that about Bandcamp
Oh, yeah.
being the best of the ones to
Yes.
support our artists. That's really
Greatest revenue share to the artists. Yeah.
And can I add one more thing about that? And
Of
we could all
course.
go do this for Chad right now. On Bandcamp, even let's say your record is $10 or that's what you're asking for. When you go to pay, you can give $20. You can give $100. So it's open to a giving platform as well. So
Name your
I
price.
encourage us all to go and give a little extra for Chad's record. And I love the colors on your records, Chad, and your website. It just looks so beautiful.
Thanks so much. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
brother.
All right, so there you have it, and I will pull up his Bandcamp site and show it after your second song, so we'll know exactly how to do what Kristen suggested.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, everybody. God bless you. Wow. All right. Well, I now get to introduce another person that I love and adore. This is the Heart Ninja, also known as Emily Oram. She is a longtime friend and someone that I had the blessing to do life and relationship with for 5 years. But as the Heart Ninja, she is a powerful, powerful force of nature, to put it mildly. And Emily brings with her a lot of tools. She's one of the most honest, vulnerable, real human beings I've ever met. And she specializes in helping women to really open up. She's a pioneer and an expert of sexual self-mastery, intimacy, love, personal empowerment, and alternative lifestyle relating. Emily embraces and holds the vision of a world of radical acceptance, inclusion, harmony, belonging, and celebration within all of each other's differences. And I know that because I know her life and it's very, very real. She empowers the people that she works with, and she is now enrolling people for a very special program, which she'll tell us a little bit about. And she's coming to us now from Mexico on her way from, she actually was with me for a couple months, then she went down to San Diego, Mexico, and then Costa Rica, where she's going to be leading this retreat. So, Emily, thank you for being with us. And I would love for you to share your thoughts about what true love means, how we can all have more love in our lives, and all the wonderful Emily wisdom that you are so good at sharing with the world.
Well, it's an absolute honor, and I feel some tears coming through. So I just want to say that coming and receiving your love, Scott, and your devotion and all the love and energy on this call is just such a sweet, profound gift. So I just wanted to share my heart and just say it with so much gratitude. Thank you all for showing up in such love and commitment to love and devotion. And I think what I feel really inspired to talk about is, we talked about it a little last night, and Jerry brought it up a little bit too, is really coming back to this inner marriage. I really am about the inner marriage work, the division of that often happens with sex and spirit. You know, how we have, in a way, when the church came in, this idea that we would submit a power outside of ourselves to something outside of ourselves in order to be loved, there's kind of this platform that got set up that our human flesh is wrong, or it's bad, or sex, there's something innately wrong with us. And so to see our human, our primal nature, our shadows, our anger, our slut, our like all our energies as divine, and to make love. I'm really big about royal embodiment. So I talk a lot about the king energy. The king energy is the energy of creation, right? The energy of the one that is taking care of us, the one that is providing, the one that is directing our life, that is connected to our highest soul's mission and purpose. Our king energy is really in service to our queen energy, which I call a lot to the devotion of our heart, the devotion of our sex, our body. And there's a real split that gets often with the way that church often has told us that we need to give over our power to something outside of ourselves. So coming back home into what is that unique relationship to us, right? How does our own king energy, the energy of our soul, want to make love to our heart? How does the energy of our soul want to make love to our sex, whatever our sex is, whether it's a beautiful cock or a pussy? Like what is that, right? What is our own pleasure when we have this deep inner marriage of sex, heart, soul alignment? And that's what I'm all about, is the royal embodiment is coming into harmony with what that is for you. What is the merging and the making love of your sex, heart, soul, so that you can come into that royal essence, that royal embodiment, the fusion of what I call king, queen, magical inner child, holy trine. What is that? How do we unify that? How do we come into the beauty of those three relationships in such exquisite love? Because I do feel that the inner marriage is holding the unique essence of the magical inner child, right? Like before the illusion of separation, before the shame, before the fear, before the guilt, before the shoulds, before all these fucking ways that we crafted ourselves to get love and to feel safe, we were these effervescent, amazing, incredible, magical inner child that we're always like feeling ourselves and feeling pleasure and like, wow, that feels good. I'm gonna cry now, like I want to play music. I'm gonna like go towards this energy of creation. I feel like before we were conditioned, we were naturally effervescent in that energy. So what came up during this whole call was the tool that kind of came up, which is submit and let the energy of creation take you. And I saw that with Chad, like when he's playing music, he's totally in submission to spirit. He's just, his heart, his sex, it's just flowing through him, that energy. He's not, he might have insecurity or shame or anything else going on within him, but he's still with even the fear, the guilt, the shame, all the things that might be coming up, the nervousness, whatever his primality is coming up. His sex is shining. His creative energy is flowing. His mission is pulsing through him. And when we allow ourselves to come into the energy of creation and really whatever arrives, let it move, submit and allow yourself to, what I say is go on the ride and the journey of creation. Follow it all the way to God. Follow it. Like if you're going to break down and be in tears, let it break you open all the way to that purest form of surrender to God. And through that, I find that when I completely can merge into that union, that I know that everything's going to be okay. And I know that I am love. And I know that's the place that we all are. It's like this orb of the mystery where we just kind of fully become one with all that is, and then eventually come into nothing and then come into all that is. It's like the birth, death, life cycle. And I feel like the more that we marry and allow our primality to move with spirit on that ride, right? The more that we can surrender to the beauty of life and make poetry out of everything. I've kind of been really on that. How do we make poetry out of everything? Right? Like, how do we let the life force that animates us to become a creative force for good, for a creative force for inspiration, for passion, for play, for all these things that we want on this incredible, amazing journey that is this life.
I'm loving your passion, Emily, and how passionate you are. Would you be willing to share a practice, for when someone is alone, they're by themselves, and they're in that separation, they're in the illusion of separation? What's a practice that you use or that you can share?
So I really think that, so I don't know about all of you, but who here has a really strong mind? Yeah. So I got this human design reading recently, and I don't know if you've ever had a chance to get human design, but literally the practitioner was like, you wield a lot of your power from your mind. Like, you like to fix people and like quantify and diagnose and track and blah, 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 blah. He's like, but that's not where your power is. And I was like, he's like, in your chart, everything about your power is in your body. everything about your power is in your body. And I was like, and I saw him recently out of the blue, and he's like, I've been seeing you've been doing good getting into that body. So that's my practice, is instead of going here to try to understand what's happening to you, and even going into the past and going up and trying to like go and quantify and diagnose and try to like, I've done a lot of that and it's a useful tool, but what I found is the biggest tool is to submit to the body, to submit to the sensation, and to allow yourself to release all shame, all sense of shame, and just completely go. If you need to turn on music, or if you need to, and really work the breath, sound, movement, and get into the way that the energy wants to be expressed through you, right? And it's with sound, with movement, with expression, with all the different parts, and you will be a feral primal animal, right? And that's the shame piece that stops us from that. Because don't show that, it's not okay. What if I lose myself to that? What if someone sees me? What if someone judges me? What if I judge myself because I feel kind of crazy in my expression? But if you let yourself submit and let the energy of creation take you, I got that from this call. I've never said that before, by the way. It will all turn into love. Like, I really feel that, like, if I cry, if I really visit grief on the deepest level and I let it penetrate and fuck my heart and let it come, like, let it pour through me, it all turns into love. Everything turns into love if you actually allow yourself to move into its fullest and biggest expression. Even if it's anger, even if it's like exquisite pleasure, even if it's like complete venting and then moving, and then it starts to move into shame, and you let yourself kind of go. If you fully submit to what is, it changes forms. That's the thing. We're so scared, right? We're so scared. Oh no, I can't feel that. No, don't show that. No, 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 no. Right? We have all these defense structures that tell us to not fully. And that's why I think a lot of us take plant medicine, because it forces people to submit. But I feel like plant medicine is an opportunity to, how can we bring that into our daily life, right? How can we bring that into a way of being through our daily life? And I find that with moving into the expression and moving into honoring our sexuality in its fullest capacity, it all turns into love.
Beautiful. Emily was staying here in the house for a couple of months, and I want to say she does that. The sounds emanating from her room, it was just Emily in the room. Maybe my dog might have been with her too. But the sounds emanating from the room was like, what's Emily up to this time? And it was wonderful. It was amazing. I miss it. I miss that. You never know what, yeah, I mean, they're just amazing sounds. Emily, thank you so much. Okay, so now I'm going to go to your website, and it's it shows up as theheartninja.com, but it's Quing. Tell us about cracking the Quing code and what you and your partner are going to be doing.
Okay, well, maybe you could scroll while I talk a little bit, but this is my colleague Moonshine, and we are all about getting women into their femme fullness. So we often work with women that run their energy as leaders, and they're really good at taking care of other people. They're really good at being moms. They're really good at being the boss, and they don't want to be the boss all the time. They want to set it down and get into their feminine juju. They want to expand their creative life and their pleasure and get into their power and get into their femme fullness so that they can wield their power. They can wield that energy to giving from others from a place of fullness and getting into their feminine erotic pleasure. And we do a lot of work, both again with the royal embodiment, the king and the queen, and the magical inner child, and how to learn to make love to yourself. If I could tell people what I do, I teach people how to make love to themselves and we do internal work, right? We do cervical serpent work, we do jade egg work, we do all sorts of work internally sexually, but we also do the work to embody those energies in our heart and our soul so that we come into that unification of our true alignment. And then how do we craft our life from our aligned self? And really, I work a lot with women that are leaders and that want to learn to make more money with ease. So a lot of the times they're wielding the energy super hard, or they're not charging what they're worth, or they're over giving and over committing. So how do we, when we come into our royal essence and our embodiment, how do we fucking own our self-worth like a true babe, and hold that value high and recognize we don't have to keep lowering our value to be enough to make a lot of money. And so we really do a lot of work on cracking the codes of scarcity and money issues, and coming into, wow, we can actually really receive a lot of money by coming into our femme fullness, by trusting the universe, by holding our value high. That comes with that inner marriage work. So that's happening. I'm enrolling until next Friday, and it's a 3-month group online mystery school that starts in March. And it's going to be limited to 10 women. So it's a really small, intimate group. And so if you feel if you feel that itch inside of you, that's like, yeah, I want to be in a community of other high-powered women, right? That women that often I say that have big dick energy, like they're big in the world. They're too much women. They're like out there, they're shiny, but they have a lot of shame, or they don't take great care of themselves, or they really need to get back in their juju, that you dance on over to quingquing.com. And I would love for you to apply. And if you're a good fit, then we'll have a call together and see if the program is a good yes for you. Thanks so much, Scott.
Absolutely, thank you. And I'm putting the links in, and I know Susie's putting the links in. And again, this is a program, it's online with an option to come to Costa Rica.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Emily, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and honestly, Scott, too, I wanted to see maybe possibly if our viewers want to hear what were some of the things that we harvested from our relationship that really brought us into a deeper amount of love for ourselves and for each other. We were together for, was it really 5 years? Shit. So in a sense, we had a dance, and so, and we're very close, and I am poly, so I am an alternative relator, and I'm also queer, but also I really do feel like beyond the context of relationship configuration is being close or transitioning relationship and still having a lot of love for each other. And I feel grateful that we've done that work.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a wonderful aspect of true love, is to truly love someone that you went so deep with in romantic relationship, professional partnership, go through the changes, go through the separation time, and then come back together in acceptance. I feel like we really accept each other. She lived here for a couple of months, and it was so easy. It was so easy being with you. And we never had anything close to friction. And that's pretty cool. So thank you. And a lot of that, honestly, Emily and I used to, when we were in a relationship, we would go on Facebook, and whatever our issues were, we would talk about that live and do these Facebook Lives about it, using the tools of compassionate communication. And Emily, I really respect how dedicated you are to learning the tools, being humble, and you've been a great blessing in my life, and I adore you.
I adore you too. And I think one of the beautiful things that I feel like has allowed us to stay close in our relationship is accepting the different iterations of who we are and where we are in our life. I think what happens a lot is when we get into relationship, we get so boxed into wanting someone to be a certain way, right? And we get attached to them being a certain way. And the reality is the only thing constant in the universe is change, right? And we're all changing. And even in relationships so much, we are having different iterations of ourselves as we're changing, as we're evolving, as we're growing. And the one thing I really do feel is, even though so much of our relationship over the years that we've been together and we've seen us change, and you've seen me change, is that even though it was hard and we had to go through a period of letting go or judgment of what you and I didn't like of each other or us being in separate directions, I know I went very more into a sexual, open, kinky, sexual like way. And Scott, is very like heart-centered and spiritual, and I love it. And that was a real area of crunchiness where we could have really freaking polarized. And there were some crunchies for a while. But we worked through it. We saw oh, how can we accept each other in the iteration of what we are now and continue to find love for each other through the changing of the different iterations of our life. So I think that that's a great modeling that we had that commitment and how important it is to bring that into relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I wanted you to be on this show, because you are a great teacher of love. You really are. And thank you for the things I learned about love from you. And I really want to encourage people to check out Emily's work. It's powerful work. And I know there's some boss babes watching right now. So boss babes, go to her website and check it out.
Boss babes, you can put that sword down. Yeah, we love your warrior energy. We love your king energy. And let's get into our juicy juice.
And speaking of juicy juice, here's a fun little video to take us into the next part of the show.
We are one. We are one. We are one. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. We are one. One love. We are one. One love. We are one. One love. Yeah, yeah. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love.
Hey, everybody. Well, it is time for the Global Peace Tribe announcements. And this is always kind of a fun time in the show where we get to let you know about things that are happening and ways to connect. And one of the things that's going to be happening is we are going to be hosting Deepak Chopra. I did an actual little interview with him last week to film for the video you're about to see. But we're going to have 90 minutes of Deepak live. It's his book launch. And to learn more about it, here's a video hot off the press. Thank you, Alan and Son, Dr. and Mrs. Future, for creating this little video. And I'll tell everybody about the launch that's coming up.
Global Peace Tribe is going live with New York Times best-selling author Deepak Chopra on Monday, March 7th, 2022.
The book was inspired by a quote from Bob Marley, which said, some people are so poor, all they have is money. So I decided to write a book based on that quote. Abundance in all its forms includes security and safety. It includes sensual and sensory delight. It includes the progressive realization of worthy goals. It includes the ability to have love and compassion. It includes creative expression, insight, intuition, imagination, higher consciousness, and ultimately it includes transcendence. If you understand those principles, which in Eastern wisdom tradition are the 7 chakras, which are centers of awareness, and if you learn to activate those centers of awareness, you can have all the abundance in your life that you want at every level, not just money.
Dr. Chopra will offer his vibrant wisdom and summarize valuable keys to success for manifesting wealth on all levels. He'll also lead us in a guided meditation, and he'll answer your questions. Registration for this event includes admission, your copy of the book, and also a replay of the book launch live recording.
What's one quick tip, one thing that people can do every day to help increase their abundance awareness?
recognize that abundance is the nature of the universe, and every seed is the promise of thousands of forests. And if you're not experiencing abundance, you've confused net worth with self-worth. If you have real self-worth, your net worth will be a byproduct of it.
Don't miss this chance for a close personal experience with Deepak Chopra on Monday, March 7th, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Register at deepaksbooklaunch.com or at our main website, globalpeacetribe.com. And remember to tell your friends. You won't want to miss this very special gathering.
Thank you so much for asking me to join this conversation. Very grateful to you.
Monday night, March 7th, definitely join us for Deepak Chopra. And it's going to be a Zoom meeting, which means that you guys can turn on the cameras if you want to and interact directly with Deepak. And he will be taking questions and answers. So it's pretty unique. It's hard to get time with Deepak like that. So I want to acknowledge Deborah Giusti for arranging that. Also want to really invite people to the conclusion of this powerful weekend. And it's going to be tomorrow morning on my Sacred Sunday show. Every Sunday morning, I do a really wonderful show where we kind of wrap up what we've been talking about. And so it'll be Larissa and I. And we have two really great guests. Sean Ray Nato is coming, and she has just written a book on sensual intelligence. There's emotional intelligence, physical, mental intelligence, and sensual intelligence. That's right up Emily's alley. And then also Dawn Lyon will be with us. And Dawn is who co-hosts the Self-Love Show. And many of you have come to back on Friday nights when I did my show called Straight Talk. And of course, my co-host for that most of the time was Trish Wright. Big love to Trish, by the way. She is attending her stepfather's funeral right now, this weekend in Arizona. So love to Trish. Anyway, Trish's co-host on the Self-Love Show is Dawn, and Dawn will be with us tomorrow morning. So join us. That's at 10 o'clock Pacific time. 10 o'clock Pacific time. There are a couple of wonderful ways that you can support the Global Peace Tribe. And one brand new one is if you buy products from Amazon, you can utilize the Amazon Smile program and we'll get a percentage of your sale. So what you do is you go to amazonsmile.com and just register and then choose Unify the World. Unify the World. Or use the link that's down below. And we're also going to put that link into the chat box. And every time you buy from Amazon, it goes through Unify, and then Unify gives it to us. It is tax deductible. So thank you, Unify, for doing that for us. Or the other option is to support us so we can continue to grow and evolve by making donations. And again, this is a little different poster. You'll notice we've got a Q code there. So if you take your trusty cell phone and you put it on camera and you go to the Q code, da-da, look what comes up. An opportunity to support us, tax deductible, by going to that little place to donate. And that goes through Unify to us. Unify is a nonprofit 501c3. And I really appreciate your donations, and I know a lot of you who are watching have donated, so I want to say thank you. And also, anybody who has registered for our this season that we're in, or if you're watching on Facebook or you're watching on YouTube, if you donate at the $35 level or more, or if you've registered for us at the $75 level or more, we're going to gift you with the concert that you just heard us talking about, the concert that Kristen and Cornflower are going to do on Monday night. For those of you who donate $35 or more, or registered to be part of our full season at $75 or more, you're going to get free tickets to that concert. And we're going to continue to provide those benefits for people that help to donate to us. So we're all building this global peace tribe together. Please do support us. It means a lot. We need it, to be really honest, to continue moving forward. And thank you very much for being with us. All right, we're gonna have David Pramod and Mitten in the after show. I'm gonna move them to the after show because we're running a little bit late. And I want to introduce you to Josie Ann. And we met her because she was one of you. She was somebody watching the show, and she started showing up in our chat box and started coming to some of the Zoom meetings. And I really appreciated what she had to say and got to know her a little bit more, and have invited her to be a part of tonight's show. She's a wise woman. Josie Ann is a family systems researcher, a licensed psychotherapist, and a strategic life coach. She manages a private practice in Coconut Grove, Florida, and via Zoom, she provides services using compassionate love as a tool for individuals, couples in their relationships, families, and even schools and organizations. She's written a book which is perfect for tonight's show. It's entitled Compassionate Love in Intimate Relationships: The Integration Process of Sexual Mass Trauma, Racism, and Resilience. I'm going to read that again. Compassionate Love in Intimate Relationships: The Integration Process of Sexual Mass Trauma, Racism, and Resilience. So I want to appreciate, Josie Ann, that you're tackling some of the really hardest stuff that we deal with, being sexualized, having early sexual experiences that might even be horrific. Obviously racism, which is still so rampant in our culture, in our country. We're going to be doing a show in a couple of weeks, the weekend of March 4th through 6th. I'm dedicating the Awakening World to social and racial justice, truth and consequences. What does it really mean to want to create social justice? What does it really mean to want to create racial equity? And as a privileged white man, I want to acknowledge that I'm still learning all the ways that I inherently support racism and don't even realize it, because it's there, it's convenient, it's supporting me to have an easier life. And so I'm still learning about that after 45 years of being involved in human rights and racism work. So thank you for the book that you've written. Thank you for tackling the hard stuff and doing it with compassion. I love that. Thank you. So I'm eager to hear what you have to say about tonight's theme.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Scott. I am so honored to be here, and thank you for even acknowledging your privilege and even the privilege of most of the presenters tonight. So I am just honored to be here, and I really appreciate the opportunity to voice for the voiceless and among all of us here on Mother Earth. So here's my book, and although tonight it's about true love, I'm going to, the way that Chad said, love is the way, I'm going to talk about the way of love. Love is kind. It does not delight in evil. It rejoices with the truth. So I took the liberty to truncate most of this Bible verse for me to have a meaningful conversation with you on the essential, love. As a family system researcher and practitioner, the way that Scott just mentioned, I am really interested in the way love or the truth manifests or rearrange itself within family or human interactions, connections, and organization as a whole, rather than focusing on individual members. Hence, I invite you to think big when I say love. Although I'll define what type of love works best in intimate relationships, keep in mind it's linked to our big, colorful family, the human race. The Bible and most of the world wisdom traditions have long agreed on this love map. Love is kind, it's not evil. It sounds so simple, right? But something got lost in translation. And the pioneer of strategic family therapy, Chloe Madanes, had to clarify for us again and again that love is compounded and humans are complex. We say we want love, yet people lie for love, hurt for love, die for love, and kill for love. In fact, before becoming a family researcher, published author, and international speaker, I was down in the trenches, fighting for love. From my mother's womb, I dodged knitting needles that almost bled me to death. I mean, I get it. No judgment here. She clung to a factory job to feed her 4 kids in the name of love. While my alcoholic father, who knew he had nothing to do with her, punched her like a sandbag for 19 years. My father will argue that his blows and injustice to my mother and violations to my baby body, mind, and spirit were actually all done in the name of love. No judgment here, but can you relate? This family experience is not unique to me, unfortunately. What's unique is our essence and the way each one of us access and process all of our experiences in life and give meaning to them. I gained so much appreciation for my own pain and trauma, for making me see the bigger picture in everything, especially in intimate relationships. To see what it is to be fully human and grasp my father's distortion of love, contrasting with my mother's exaltation of love. They reminded me of the beauty and the beast archetypes, when beauty, the light, transcends the darkness on the shadow side of the beast and reveals with compassionate love the goodness and qualities intrinsic to our human nature. This is the magic of the beauty or the light. Now is the time to ask science to stop mirroring back to us our darkest qualities and shed the light and on the truth, our divinity. Now is the time to stop polarizing love as a soft science and reclaim its high technology. Now is the time for us to accept these opposing facets of ourselves into our individual wholeness and integrate them to expand our collective consciousness and reclaim our individual sovereignty. As humans, we are wired to love. We are love. The energy of love is the energy of the now that sets the whole human system in motion with higher vibrations and greater intentions. Indeed, love is our internal disposition that shifts our external reality to set healthier boundaries for ourselves, but also for the greatest good of all. For millennia, our ancestors have gifted us a heart of compassionate love, knowing that the day will come for us to crack open the love codes and activate our deep DNA for humans' evolution and preservation against all evils. Ironically, compassionate love, which is defined by scientists as a type of love that centers on the good of the other, never made it to the public. Why would science bypass the world's most useful survival skill of the kindest with two of the highest human virtues to cultivate: compassion and unconditional love? I'm just saying. Perhaps this is a good time, guys. During a pandemic, when people are shifting their priorities, setting aside money and sex, recalibrate our relationships and our ideas of what love is. For centuries, science has emphasized the survival of the fittest in a world of competition, separation, and duality. And since everything is energy and every one of us is connected with everything, these divisions and conflicts have trickled down to us at the core of our beings. So from science to the public, no one has been able to really explain to us what's the root cause of the staggering statistics of disconnection that plague our relationships, or even less able to explain to us why opposites attract. So by a show of hands, I'm sure many believe that opposites attract, right? So some of us believe that our relationships are made of two halves that complete each other from a state of deficit instead of a state of abundance, hoping that the other will love us more than we love ourselves, right? We convince ourselves that two opposing electrical charges, one positive, one negative, attract each other like magnets in an energizer burning battery. Is pure love when it's actually pure physics. The good news is that in quantum love, each one of us is responsible for the quality of our energy that varies from a low to high frequency and greater influences our relationships and also impacts the world. In some of the karmic relationships, just like in Beauty and Beast, she holds the mirror before her, the same way we hold the mirror for our partners and vice versa, to see the unknown chaos within ourselves and dissolve with love any pain from our core wounds of rejection, abandonment, humiliation, betrayal, or injustice on our spiritual path. Fortunately, the pandemic got us to realize that we can choose a different way of love, that behind statistics are real people, and beyond big data, there may be the real truth. Why would some researchers say that opposite attract is a sign of love when love has no opposites? Now, if opposite people don't attract true love, what does? The anthropologist Ellen Fisher and Match.com funding their latest 2020 study with 5,000 singles that in the current online dating world, during the pandemic, right now, guys, people engage in longer and more meaningful conversation with more honesty and transparency, and with less emphasis on physical attraction. That study also revealed that the longer couples court and the later they marry, perhaps, getting to see what they have in common, the more likely they are to stay together. But how can we maintain true love in good times and especially now in challenging times? So I had to go for 7 years in depth, back into the trenches, into people's homes, and see the relationship from my eyes and feel the energy of these couples. And I found 5 strategies that they share with me. All of these couples were from different socioeconomic backgrounds, different educational level, different professional status. And they all consider themselves to have resilient relationships and successful love stories. Here are the 5 strategies they share with me. Breaking the chains of generational curses is not being a statistic. It's to actually transmute negative relational patterns of violence, of rape, of scarcity, of poverty, of neglect into positive, massive action. Because it's one thing to think just being aware. It's not enough anymore. And what comes next is being equally yoked with our partners, is being on the same wavelength between our spirituality, mind, and sexuality. And when we achieve this triangle, which is the triad, the law of three, we become more in harmony with each other and with the world. Next is finding common grounds between partners. It's agreeing to disagree with unconditional love, praying together for each other, and putting family first. Not only our own personal family, but a bigger family, the human race. Loving beyond what is. When we see in our world of our partners and we create these monsters, we have to see beyond and see their essence and rise our vibration to stay focused on the bigger picture. Lastly, loving yourself first. It's what makes possible the 4 other strategies. And it shouldn't be a mission impossible. Love is kind. It does not delight in evil. It rejoices with the truth. Sarah, the alchemist, said, light is consciousness. Truth is consciousness. And consciousness is love. I say, love is the truth. And I challenge you today, tonight, or wherever you are in Australia, and maybe in Israel, anywhere in the world, I challenge you to adopt this truth as you pledge allegiance to the love evolution of all humanity. Thank you.
Thank you, Josie. And that's just beautiful. Just beautiful. And very, I love how inspired you are while dealing with sober stuff. And you'll enjoy the chat. There's a lot of responses coming through Unify and Facebook and in our chat room, people appreciating so much your wisdom. And I want to give people a couple of other ways you can get more of this amazing woman. Well, certainly I'm going to have her on my shows again. You're doing a TEDx talk.
Yes.
And so that's on March 12th, and that's in Florida? Yeah?
No, it's actually in Trinidad. So
Wow.
we're going to Trinidad, yes.
Wow. Well, but
Yeah.
it'll be recorded, so maybe you can get it to us and we can pass it on to the Global Peace Tribe?
Yes, actually, what I just shared with you is it. So you got it before.
We got the preview. All right.
You got the preview.
There was
You
your
got the
TED Talk is
preview.
gonna rock, girl.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right, and I do want to take people to your website. It's theintegrativewellness.com. Theintegrativewellness.com. And are you booking clients at this time if people are interested in working with you?
A few, yes, I do. I am, and so I'm open to women and men and any relationships, LGBTQ. I started with LGBTQ populations in school at University of Miami, and so it's been in and out. It just depends on the flow of where I am myself. And so I tried whatever comes, and I go from different communities to different populations to different cultures and different languages also, and all in the language of love, compassion.
Well, thank you so much for being our final official presenter during the main show. Stick around because we have a beautiful after show that's about to start. And Josiane, thank you so much for your work in the world and your presence in our welcome to our community. People are loving you. There's a lot of wonderful comments for you to read and enjoy. So thank you so much.
I will. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, everyone.
All right, we're going to close out the main show with one more song from Chad, and then it's going to be time for the after show. And for the after show, Eden Amadora is going to be joining us, and we've got something very fun and cool to talk about. Also, talk a little bit more about this topic. And we've got Fanny and Vigari who are going to play our songs for us. And we also are going to have that video of Deva Pramal and Miten. So stick around for the after show. And we'll definitely take some Q&A and maybe some comments from some of you. I want to acknowledge some really wonderful comments have been coming in our Zoom room and also on Unify and Love Coach Academy Facebook. So, but for now, to close out the main show, I'm going to turn it over to Chad Wilkins one more time.
All right, thanks so much, Scott. Got a tune here called I Love You Forever.
I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you forever. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you forever. Perfect in every way. Rose petals which to be reckoned, with a heart that is giddy and open. Put it all on the line for devotion. Rather risk a heart to be broken than to wither inside a safe cage.
Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow. Let's just all breathe that in a little bit and imagine whomever you most want to be loved by singing that passionately like Chad sings. Maybe it's divinity itself. You know, the eternal beloved does love us with that level of consistent devotional passion that Chad has so beautifully played for us just now. I did find Chad on Bandcamp. It's quite easy. You just go to bandcamp.com and put in Chad Wilkins, and there he is as an artist, and then you can see like his different albums. So definitely this is the way to support him, is go to Bandcamp and put in Chad Wilkins. Chad, your passion is just so powerful. You sing with so much love. You know, we had all these passionate presenters like Josiane and Raja and Larissa, and the way you sing with so much passion. So I just want to ask you, what does true love mean to you, my friend? What does it mean to you, brother?
Oh, thanks so much, Scott. Well, you know, I'm a firm believer that love is the foundation of all things, really, and it's the source of all things. It's where we come from. It's what we're made of. It's what we are. And love is what sustains us moment by moment. And it's the goal, and it's the starting point, and it's the journey. Mm-hmm. It's all of it, ultimately. And, you know, universal love is something that we can all become more aware of in every moment. And unconditional love is, for me, my personal goal is my main practice, and my personal goal is to be the most loving person I can possibly be. Mm-hmm. And that comes down to all the little nitty-gritty details and in small decisions that I make in my life, moment by moment. You know, it all adds up. But you know, becoming more aware of the presence of love at all times and letting that flow through us, I think, is the most important thing. And one thing about unconditional love is that it's unconditional, it doesn't have conditions, which means it doesn't even necessarily have to have the condition of having a specific target of a specific receiver. Unconditional love is a specific energy that emanates at all times. And so when you love something or someone, hopefully it's an aspect of that unconditional love that is just emanating and bursting out of you at all times anyway. And then other people and other things get caught in the crossfire of that because it's just flowing. Because needing a target is actually a condition. And unconditional love just flows. It's an energy. It's like tears, or it's like breathing. It just moves through you. And but then on the other hand, there's this other aspect, being Valentine's weekend, there's this other aspect of union. And I also really believe that the pinnacle experience of being human is to merge with another in a specific type of intimate love. And I think that's a really, really beautiful thing to be able to share in intimate, emotional, and energetic connection with another human, and to merge in a beautiful way in intimate love. I think is a really, really, really beautiful aspect and facet of unconditional love. That's the foundation of all the universe. So yeah, celebrating all the many forms of love and expressions of love. And thanks so much for creating this show tonight to showcase love. Yeah, which is the main thing. It's the main message anyway, all the time, right?
Yeah, in so many different ways. And I love the way that you present your message of love, Chad. I sure hope you come back on our show again. And God's blessings. Thank you. Sending lots of love to you all the way to Australia. Thank you, my brother.
Thanks so much, Scott. Sending lots of love to you too. Love to everybody out there in the webs.
I'll go to gallery view for a moment. You can see some of our wonderful people. Susie, who does all of our chat box work. Eden, who's going to be on the show in a moment. Fanny and Vigari. Josie and Connie, who has been putting all sorts of wonderful things. Our wild Abbott Cherry. Robin Delaney. Thank you, everybody, for being part of tonight's show. And thank you again, Chad. All right. Well, that's the official end of our main show, but don't go away. We've got a really powerful after show. And so let's take a look at what's going to be coming up. And again, it'll be Eden Amadora and David Pamal and Meaton and Fanny and Vigari.
Do you really know how the wind will blow? Are you ready to flow? The after show. Do you wanna know? Do you wanna know how it's gonna go? How it's gonna go? We got seeds to sow. Seeds to sow. The after show. The after show.
All right, welcome everybody to the after show now. And I'm going to turn it over to Fanny and Vigari, or actually add them. Hello, you two beautiful beings. Have you enjoyed the show so far tonight?
Oh, it has been just incredibly.
Hasn't it?
Incredibly wonderful.
Yeah, each presenter was so powerful and just so much love, And I am grateful to the two of you to carry on and continue the vibe of love. What's your first song that you're going to play for us tonight?
Tonight it's called Let the Music Play. For the love of the world, I want to dedicate this song to the children of the world tonight. It was such a beautiful day here in BC, Canada. We had a sunshine, and I did one of my first children's entertainment gig. Today I was a divine fool with the children. So children are filled with love and light, pure love, pure light, pure unconditional. It is so inspiring to be with them. So this song is for them. And remember, we are children of the world, and we are blessed to know where the light comes from, where we do come from. So here we are. you're welcome to dance.
Let the music play.
Thank you both so much. It's so just exquisite. Very, very exquisite. Um, and thank you. And again, you can reach Fanny and Vigari by going to the website, which I'm showing right now. It's starchild.ca, starchild.ca, or call them. They actually do phone. It's an amazing thing.
Yes, and soon we'll be on Bandcamp, I'm telling you.
All right. Well, stick around. We're going to have another song from them a little bit later on in our after show, and I love you both so much. Thank you. And thank you for being with us all evening long. It's been quite an evening, and it's going to continue right now. I am really grateful to introduce my friend, Eden Amadora, who is joining us. There she is. Hello, Eden.
Hi, Scott. Hi, everybody. Good to be here. Wow. High frequency heart medicine. So much beauty since I jumped in. It's been amazing.
Whole night's been that way, Eden. It's just been, we had 5 goddesses that are all together for a birthday party that came in. So imagine, well, you know what it is because you do goddess gatherings. So it's like this.
I was supposed to be there, actually. I know
That's
them.
right, you were. They thought you were going to be there. That's exactly right. Well, I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad I'm here too. What a treat. Wow. It started off with Josie Ann's just passionate eloquence and just,
Isn't she something?
wow,
Yeah,
just cracked me open.
There she is.
Hi, sister. Good to see you. Amazing.
Oh, thank you so
Wow.
much, again. Thank you. Thank you. So nice to see you too.
So, before we talk a little bit about our offering, what is true love? Our theme. How do you imagine true love creating heaven on earth?
Yeah, true love is heaven on earth. True love is actually attuning to the fact that it is heaven on earth. It's giving us the eyes to see, seeing through the heart coherence that is here. It's like the veil is so thin. When we give our mind to our heart, we actually perceive we are in paradise, and there is only love. Love is all that's real. So for me, it's about just lifting these veils and doing that deep work of what I believe Josie Ann pointed to, which is loving the self and recognizing our divinity, recognizing our connection to the divine. And as we love the self, we realize there's no separation, and we love all others as ourself, and we see all others as innocent, and we forgive everything. And when we forgive everything, we become what I like to think of as that center point of every part of the universe. We become humble and noble. We become soft and open and surrender into love. And we see beauty. We see beauty that surrounds everywhere. So true love it's here. It's what's real. And we're really just remembering. We're waking up. This is the awakening world. Everybody, I'm so glad to be in it with you. I'm so glad we're here together, remembering.
Yeah. Thank you. Beautifully stated. I agree. And Eden and I obviously resonate in our way of thinking, as I think really almost all of us do. Something rather remarkable happened. She co-hosted, like Larissa did this weekend, some shows with me when we had the Twin Ray on. And we very spontaneously decided to do a show on kind of the healing of the divine feminine and the divine masculine and the integration of our own divine feminine and masculine within. Something happened, and we still don't quite know how, but that show, with no publicity, we decided to do it at the last minute, has so far gotten 230,000 views on Facebook. And that doesn't even include the Unify version of it. And so, of course, we do interpret that to mean that people really want to do that, to have tools for healing. And I think almost all of us have some wounds. Almost all of us grew up with an idea of true love. You find your prince, you find your princess, and they lived happily ever after. And we didn't live happily ever after. We got divorced. We broke up. We got hurt. they left for another person or whatever it was that happened. And so learning to heal those very real wounds, learning how to still support our inner masculine, our inner feminine, and to then support each other. And so Eden and I have decided we're going to do something very special. We are going to do another event, and it's again going to be a Zoom meeting so people can interact with us. And we're going to do it on the first day of spring. It's going to be on Sunday afternoon, March 20th, 2 o'clock Pacific time, 5 o'clock East Coast. Spring forward into love with Eden and with Scott, and experience renewal of body, mind, and spirit. And Eden, what are some of the things you're imagining we're going to share on that day?
We're gonna share some tools and powerful embodiment practices, and really be in this embodying love together, this direct experience of opening the heart. And I love that it's on this first day of spring. It's just a potent time, this spring, new growth, renewal, regeneration. We've been in this dark winter, not just really this winter, but this pandemic season of isolation and of fear. And we're going to share some tools around unwinding that root chakra contraction and opening the heart and moving heart first into our lives and lifting those veils so we can be less reactive and more responsive, where we can see with fresh eyes and see beauty again, like heaven on earth, and do our part to be that ripple in our own relationships and in our communities. So that's what I'm excited about.
Me too. I really have enjoyed teaching with you and co-creating with you. And so it's going to be a powerful event. It's going to be very Global Peace Tribe. We're just announcing it for the first time tonight. And we've got a special thing. Oh, I just got something stuck in my throat.
Oh no. What needs to be expressed? Yeah. One of the things that I love to do, speaking of the throat and the throat chakra, and that I do, and people who've done some of the beautiful online temple work of the divine feminine work I do, is we use sound. We use our voices to open up the energy and raise our frequency. And I'm excited about blending this in with my work with Scott, that we're not just learning kind of conceptually and talking about things, we're embodying new ways of being and opening up our channel and opening up our capacity to feel and respond. And part of that, just, kind of riffing off the fact that you're clearing your throat right now, is that there's a lot of healing in the opening of our truth together with men and women, and the clearing of our past and our voices. And when we can speak those things and be witnessed, we can heal together. So part of this integration of divine feminine, divine masculine, it isn't far away. It isn't like about becoming something exalted and idealized. It's actually really being witnessed in our authenticity, in our essence, and speaking from our hearts together, and being seen by the other in our beauty, in our vulnerability, and in our essence. And there's so much power in that, in being witnessed and sharing.
Well, that just happened. I mean, literally, I was halfway through a thought and my throat went into a funny place. So there you just saw how the divine feminine came through and supported the divine masculine in a very perfectly human moment. So thank you. And there it is. We're all still learning and growing. It's like, wow, I'm going to have to, when the dust settles, I'm going to tune in like, wow, what was that all about? That all of a sudden, just out of the blue. So thank you, Eden. Thank you. So everybody join us. Now, here's the thing. If you register this weekend, the first 22 people who register, it's $22. And the first 22 people who register, we're going to send not one, not two, but 3 gifts. And they're all links to video recordings from Eden and myself. including a beautiful practice that she's done. And mine is one of my teachings, and then something that we did together. So definitely register now. It's $22 to join us that evening, or that afternoon, I should say. And you will get 3 free gifts from us. I'll probably send those out on Monday, to be honest. So please do join Eden and I. And Eden, thank you. I know you've got friends visiting, so thank you for jumping in and joining us tonight.
Yeah, my pleasure. Wow, what a gift to come in. Like I said, that heart medicine and high frequency. And is it Fanny and what are the
Vigari.
Oh my God, magic. Thank you so much for sharing your magic and your flute. I'm a flautist too. Wow, that was awesome. So beautiful. Yeah, it's such a pleasure always, Scott. Thank you so much. And I really look forward to that spring equinox Sunday to be with you and our beloveds who come play with us. So I guess I'll say bye for now and see you then.
All right. Bye-bye, Eden.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And there it is again one more time. And use the link to register that we've put into the chat box. And I'll pop that over to Zoom in a moment. So I was originally going to have David Pramal and Meetan in our main show, but those 5 goddesses ended up going about 20 minutes longer than planned, and it was amazing and wonderful and worth it. So I am going to play this beautiful video that David Pramal and Meetan put together for us. And I have kind of a special relationship with them. Most of you know that I was married and my wife passed away. And my wife was, earlier in her life, very involved with Osho, also known as Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh. And she and David Pramal and Meetan were all part of the Osho community. They were all in India together and then in Pune. And then when the ranch got created in Oregon and there's like kind of this vision for community, they were all on the ranch together. So they all knew each other before Pramal and Meetan became famous, before Suchi and I got married. Fast forward many years, and we were all very involved in something called the Oneness Institute. Sri Bhagavan Khalsa and his wife, and we were guests one Christmas on the VIP campus. David Pramal, Meetan, Suchi, myself, Marcy Shaimoff, and about a dozen other celebrities were all guests of Bhagavan and his beloved Amma for 3 weeks. And we spent 3 weeks together in India, his ashram. And it was Christmas time, and on New Year's Eve, David Pramal and Meetan did a concert in their room, and we all came. Listened to their music. We've all made love to their music, probably. And they made this special video for Saturday Night Live. We played it December 4th, but I wanted to play it again because I think they really represent another aspect of true love, which is coming together as a man and a woman. They've been together for 30 years as partners, but they're so rooted in their love of God and their devotional music. And so they really are beautiful, like Fanny and Vigari. They're a beautiful example of a couple that are successful, that work together, and have really brought more love into our world. So here are David Pramal and Meetan.
Namaste. Namaste. This is sung by Jayuta. Radhe, Radhe, Radhe Govinda. 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 Radhe, Radhe. Radhe, Radhe, Radhe Govinda. Radhe, Radhe, Radhe Govinda. Radhe, Radhe, Radhe Gopal. Radhe, Radhe, Radhe Govinda. Radhe, Radhe, Radhe Gopal. Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Love upon love upon love, all hearts beating as one. Light upon light upon light, all disappears into one. This is by our beloved friend Maniko. Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Love upon love upon love, all hearts beating as one. Light upon light upon light, all disappear into one. Radhe, Radhe, Radhe Govinda. Radhe, Radhe, Radhe Govinda. Radhe, Radhe, Radhe Govinda. Radhe, Radhe, Radhe Govinda. Join us, we sing together. Radhe, Radhe, Radhe Govinda. 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 Radhe, Radhe, Radhe Gopal. Radhe, Radhe, Radhe Govinda. Radhe, Radhe, Radhe Gopal. Living in the miracle zone. This is really.
I hope you really enjoyed that very sweet, sweet music. It's so beautiful. And again, such an example of really healthy love. I want to, before we have our closing song, I want to let everybody know about what we're going to be doing next week, because every week we're bringing cool stuff to you. And I've got a little video I'll show in a moment. But next week, it's all about healing from the inside out. And we've got a really remarkable number of world-class healers who are going to be joining us, including Deepak Chopra. So that's going to be next Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday morning. As always, we take a topic and we tackle it from multiple sides, multiple places. And I have been collaborating more and more, just like I collaborated with Lisa Stone this weekend shows. And next weekend, I'm collaborating with Teresa Collins and Jennifer Hill. Teresa, of course, runs the Global Coherence Pulse, and Jennifer K. Hill has created this really cool organization where you can go online and find the healer that we're looking for and needing. And here's a little video that I did with Jennifer to tell you more about it. Hello, dear Global Peace Tribe friends. I am really excited. I've had the honor of working with Jennifer K. Hill for the past couple of weeks as she is putting together a really special edition of The Awakening World. And what I've learned about Jennifer is that she is part of this incredible consortium. Would that be a proper way of
That's a
putting it?
great word for it.
Of healers that are coming together to help us. And look, we all have stuff, and she's got some solutions. So, Jennifer, tell us about what you're doing and about what we're going to have take place next weekend.
Yes, thank you so much, Scott, for having us here. And this coming weekend, we are so excited to have you join us for Healing from the Inside Out, as we look at it almost like you are Batman. And Batman is not technically superhuman. He's just a guy who has a lot of special gadgets and tools in his belt. And that's what we're going to be covering next weekend with complementary and alternative medicine. We're going to be hearing from brilliant thought leaders such as Dr. Bradley Nelson, Deepak Chopra. On Friday night, we're going to have some plant medicine experts, Clay Kaler, Dr. Beth Dupree, as well as Neil Markey, a veteran who has used these principles in his own life. And we're going to be featuring healers from om-heals.com, which is our platform. And what we do is we look at who are you energetically? And when you go to heal, no matter what sort of medicine, therapy you're using, it's a very personalized, intimate experience. And we've discovered using this algorithm a way to match you, so that you feel safe, known, and heard, whether you're struggling with anxiety, depression, grief, a breakup, heartache, whatever might be ailing you, sometimes physical ailments. I honestly just got off a plane the other day and I felt terribly ill. So of course, the first thing I did is I texted my go-to physical body talk doctor. And within a few hours, I went from feeling like I couldn't get off the couch to feeling amazing. And there is no reason that we need to suffer. We all have experiences that might inhibit our bliss, our joy. And our intention is to have you know there are options. Like Batman, when he's battling the Joker or whomever his nemesis is, that nemesis might be PTSD or depression. And we're going to give you tools so that no matter what you struggle with, you're going to be able to pull that bat belt and utilize energy medicine, complementary medicine, plant medicine, whatever speaks to you, to connect to the wholeness that already exists within you.
Thank you, first of all. So next weekend, and you'll see it, so many people that she's brought in that are part of Om Heals. And so we're going to really get into specific tools and practices that people can use, correct?
Yes, absolutely. That the whole weekend is centered around how do you connect to the health and wholeness within you? And whether it's plant medicine, whether it's Dr. Bradley Nelson's emotion code or body talk work, or energy healers who support you with Reiki, what we're really doing is reflecting back to you the wholeness that already exists within you, because you are whole and complete. And sometimes we just forget that we are.
Beautiful. And you know, Jennifer, on Friday night and Sunday morning shows, those are Zoom meetings. So people will have the option of turning the camera on and interacting and actually asking questions. And then on Saturday night, let's make our after show an opportunity, again, for Q&A, specific people. Does that sound good?
I think that's beautiful. Absolutely. I think
Great.
it's going to be a wonderful opportunity to you get any burning questions off your mind. What is plant medicine? What is energy medicine? What is personal transformation? And how do these help me connect to the wholeness within me?
I'm going to ask about arthritis. I've got arthritis in my hands and my neck, right? Every day I'm in pretty significant discomfort. You know, you learn to live with it. So I'm eager to hear a little bit about what we can do about my arthritis.
Can I offer one quick thing before we wrap today?
Well, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
So one of the things I was taught many years ago when I began this journey for myself, Scott, is to talk to our bodies. So if I took a fall, quite honestly, at the airport the other day, I was entangled in my bags, rushing from point A to point B, and my poor knee was beside itself in pain. So if you're ever having physical pain, it could be in your heart, it could be arthritis, or in my case, it was my knee, talk to your body. Our body is always there, and many of us might already be meditating. You can even imagine putting your hands on that part of your body that hurts and just going into a quiet, contemplative state and just almost either asking out loud or from your heart to that part of your body, what do you need? How can I honor you? And even that little technique can already make huge shifts in your wholeness.
You know, I'm sheepishly going, how come it sounds so simple and so obvious, and I needed you to remind me or to kind of to Scott.
To guide you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Well, thank you for being a wonderful guide, and thank you for all that you're doing. So again, everybody, please do join us next weekend for the Awakening World, Healing from the Inside Out. And you're going to get tips, tools, and practices. And you're going to get to hear from our keynote speaker, Deepak Chopra. And as always, on Saturday night, we've got some amazing music. One of our favorites, Daniel Balone, will be with us. And so definitely join us next weekend. And Jennifer, looking forward to all your offerings. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But you're muted.
I just gave away the Super Lotto numbers. I was channeling and now I don't remember them. Gosh darn it. Thanks for pointing that out, Jerry. Hey, you know who just saved my butt? Let me put the spotlight on the Wild Abbot, Jerry, who is going to be. You provided us with a crossword puzzle. I saw that.
Yes, it's a fun thing I've just started working on, and there's a couple more coming. One on Rumi, one on consciousness traits, and one on unconsciousness traits coming.
Wow. Hey, I want to, there's something I forgot to do. Thank you, Jerry. I love you. I love you so much. And thank you for all the wonderful energy you bring and the great wisdom you provided, your definition of heaven on earth. Thank you so much, brother. I love you. I forgot to do, while Eden was here, I started choking. I lost track. There's a little poll that she and I wanted to provide to people. We are planning on, of course, doing this special event on March 20th, and then leading a course for 6 to 8 weeks. And we want to get your feedback, you that are watching, and there's still 65 of you watching, as to what time of the week would be best. So I'm pulling up a poll, and I want to launch it, and all of you can fill this out, and you can put in different options. Would you be most likely to join us on a Saturday morning, a Sunday afternoon, a Wednesday morning, or a Wednesday afternoon? Saturday morning, Sunday afternoon, Wednesday morning, or Wednesday afternoon. So it's really important. Please, everybody, take a moment to come on in and fill this out, because we are going to base, when we decide this, on the feedback that we get. And so the course, I can talk a little bit about it while you guys all kind of go to your computers and click in the appropriate places. What we're planning is really taking a small group of people on a deep dive journey. It'll be a Zoom meeting. It'll be a small interactive group where we really take people on an opportunity to explore those painful patterns that I call veils of past pain, and how our veils of past pain impact us in present time. And so we're going to work on clearing our veils of past pain, refreshing, renewing. It's springtime, it's the start of spring, so that we can open ourselves to truly experiencing more love in our life. And love might include romantic love. For anybody who's single, I'm single, Eden is single, so it might be, attracting the right person. For people that are in a relationship that's gone stagnant, maybe more love is, the quality of that relationship improving. And of course, there are so many other forms of love. There's deep friendship, there's family, there's love of the people that maybe we do service with. So there's a lot of different ways to create love, and we are looking forward to creating a beautiful course that hopefully many of you will choose to participate in. Especially you guys are the people that are with us late. It's been a long day. We started the show almost 4 hours ago, and you're still here. At least some of you are still here, so thank you so much. So I see Saturday morning and Sunday afternoon are equal. They've both gotten 8 votes. Wednesday afternoon is third place, and Wednesday morning is not going well. So this is really helpful, you guys. So thank you so much for filling this poll out. And I'll ask again tomorrow during my Sacred Sunday show. So thank you so much. Really, really helpful to get your feedback. I am going to share a couple of websites that got sent to me by Viraja. You met Amber Hartnell. She was the goddess on the far left who talked about giving birth to her 2 boys. If you're interested in more work with her, her website is amberhartnell.com. amberhartnell.com. And then we also met Shelley Bullard. And let me take us now to Shelley. Shelley was the dark-haired woman, and she is all about helping people find true love, finding the mate they're looking for. Manifest the love you desire, and you get a free ebook by going to her website. And her website is her name, ShelleyBullard.com. ShelleyBullard, ShelleyBullard.com. Sign up. I'm going to do that. I'm single. Maybe I'll manifest the perfect person. All right. I'll go back to that in a moment. And then finally, you met Melissa, also known as Ila, and here is her website. She's the tapper. And AccuTap is definitely, it's a thing. And a lot of people I know have a lot of success managing the trauma. I see Josiane is nodding her head. Using tapping. And so here is the way to go there, to AccuTap101.com. AccuTap101.com. You can always, if you missed any of these, you can always catch our recordings, our replays. We've got a very thriving YouTube channel. So by Monday, all of the replays from the early show, the main show, this after show, they'll all be in our replay. Or you can also go to the Love Coach Academy on Facebook and find them there. Or you can go to my profile page. So there's a lot of ways to watch the replays. Thank you, everybody, for being with us. Thank you, Dr. Laura, Terry Russo, all of you, Moses, all the people. I'll go through and I will read your comments. I do that usually on Sunday. And we're going to close out with some wonderful, beautiful, soft music from those magnificent duo. Well, at least one of them, at least Vigari. Maybe Vigari's going to play solo for us. Nope, there she is. Hey, I didn't get a chance to read a little bit about them. And so here is the bio for the Mystiques. They are like 2 sides of a coin. On one side, an original, colorful, totally improvised explosion of creative expression to engage and entertain children of all ages. On the other hand, a background of Afro-Caribbean, Latin, and R&B styles played at festivals throughout the United States, Canada, and beyond. Together they are Starchild and Vigari. They are the Mystiques, blending voice and instrumentation as we so enjoy. And so, with no further ado, here are the Mystiques.
Thank you so much. This song is for all the lovers in the world. And I think that we are so blessed. They are the blessed one, the lovers of the world. So thank you, Great Spirit. I hope you groove with us because love is groovy. Love is beautiful.
I'm in the mood
So this is how we make love, you folks out there,
Hmm.
to the music.
Wow. I'm putting on camera our friends that are still have their cameras on. Beautiful. Thank you so much. That was just wonderful. Thank you, Susie, for all the wonderful work. Susie jumped in at the last minute to do links for us. Thank you, Josie Ann, for being with us. Thank you, Fanny and Vigari. Thank you, wonderful, wonderful Wild Abbott, Jerry. Love you guys so much. And I have one last kind of announcement actually to make. While they were playing, I did get confirmation from Jai Lakshmi, longtime friend of mine, and she is going to be doing a concert. She's going to join my Sacred Sunday show tomorrow. So come on in and hear Jai Lakshmi sing a song, and of course join Larissa and I and our guests. And then Jai Lakshmi's doing a concert tomorrow night. And here is the link. I'm putting it here, and I'll also post the link in our chat box. And her concert is tomorrow at 6:30 Pacific time. 6:30 Pacific time. And there it is. I just popped it into the chat box. So we've got a lot of wonderful things to do. Come tomorrow morning to my Sacred Sunday show. Then Kristen Hoffman in the afternoon, Jai Lakshmi in the evening, and then our Universal concert with Cornflower and Kristen on Monday night. So there's a lot going on, as always, in our wonderful Global Peace Tribe. Thank you so much for being with us. And thank you to all the people still watching. I love that. 55 people in the Zoom room, about 30 on Unify. Thank you. God's bless us all. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning for the Sacred Sunday show. Take care, everybody. God's blessings. And